Hello, everybody, to episode 16 of the Run So Fast podcast, the world's first brother sister runners podcast. And today we're doing our first ever cross collaboration with another podcast, Inside Track Podcast, hosted by our dear Amir. This is episode 2 of the Inside Track podcast. Amir, how are you doing? Where are you in the world right now?
I'm doing okay. I'm currently in Belgium with a group of people. Uh,
Like,
Coach
very
Kai,
general. Hi, right.
Thiruben.
Kai, Tiru.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Coach Kai, Thiruben, Mark Lee, Elizabeth, Sarah Po, and Ian Gunn.
Okay.
And basically, we're here on a training camp, and we're going to be doing some races as well. The group of them are going to be heading to Commonwealth Games, whereas I'm just here just to have a track season of sorts. Because I had an injury earlier in the year.
Lovely. And is Sarah Po and Ian Gunn, the last two names I've not heard of before, is that an Oldham camp?
No, they're both under a different coaching group, but
Oh,
I think if I'm not mistaken, they're both going to Asian Games
I
for the
see.
relay.
Okay. Okay. I didn't realize that we had a Sarah Po and an Ian Gunn. But is this 4x1 relay?
Yes, correct. Sarah was in last year's SEA Games team.
Sarah.
Yeah,
I do not recall a Sarah Po on the SEA Games team.
yeah, she
Oh
was
my
in the
God.
relay 4x1.
Did she run?
No, she was a reserve. It was her and Shannon, reserve.
Sarah, that her surname is Po, man.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about now. Po is a Chinese name. She's not. Is she Chinese?
yeah,
At
yeah, yeah.
least she's Eurasian, right?
No. I think she was raised in Indonesia, but I can't remember. I don't remember the specifics.
Po as in Poh.
Yeah.
Okay, I know who you're talking about now. She was a reserve together with Shannon. I didn't realize her surname was Po. Okay. Well, sorry, Sarah, if you're listening to this, I definitely remember you. Yeah, actually, yeah, she and Shannon asked me a very interesting question in the gym at SE Games. They were like, Rui Yong, can we ask you a question? I'm like, sure. Say, how do you have the guts, or how do you have the courage to stand up and say what you say and like stand up for what's right? I think they said stand up for what's right lah, but yeah, they said how do you have the courage to stand for what's right and say and do what you do? Then I'm like, well, girls, I'm not advising anyone to give this kind of advice, but I'm like, it's kind of like losing your virginity. It hurts the first time when people backlash you, and after that, you're just kind of used to it. What do you
Romaine's
think?
face, bro.
What do you think about that advice, Romaine?
I'm not sure if you're in a great position to be giving that analogy, but okay.
And then they were like, oh,
Did they not have a face when you use that analogy?
no, they were
Just
okay.
kidding.
From what I remember, lah, they were like, oh, like, oh, I see. I mean, I could have used any other analogy, lah, but I was just like,
But you chose not to.
like, okay, fine. It's like, I don't know. I guess I could have said it's like boxing. You get punched in the face the first time, it hurts, and after that, you figure out a way how to avoid the punches, lah. You know, or I don't know. I guess I could have said that. I was like, you
It's
know what?
okay. Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah,
We
it's
all
kind of like
know.
losing your virginity. It might hurt the first time, but after that, you know what it's like, and you kind of deal with it, right? Like, it doesn't hurt as much anymore.
Noted.
Yeah. Amir, have you had any significant backlash over your media content over the last couple of years of your life since you've been quite active on
Sorry,
YouTube,
can you repeat
Instagram?
the question?
Have you
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
have you lost your virginity? No, that's not the question. The question is, have you faced any significant media backlash over the last couple of years? Given that you're quite active on Instagram, social media, you've been to the SEA Games, which we all know is a platform where Singapore all watches, which is fantastic, and not all lah, but the people kind of watch the SEA Games. The mainstream public watches the SEA Games, which is good and bad. Good because there's attention, but bad because people who don't understand track seem to enjoy commenting the most, and that's not necessarily the kindest kind of comments that you see. So yes, that's what I wanted to ask. Have you faced any of that backlash Yeah, I don't think you stand up and like really give controversial or like against the power kind of like comments. So I think that in general you're not gonna face as much. I'm just asking in general, yeah. Like putting yourself out there on social media, have you
No lah,
faced any backlash?
I think in general, no lah. It's more like, how to say, it's not backlash. It's just people who, you know how as you get better and bigger at certain things that you do, and like you're just very more focused on certain things, then people who were once with you or once by your side, like they kind of look at you with a bit of a jealous look lah, and then you're
Ooh, are we talking about
like
Oliver?
they are jealous of your progress, I guess. No,
Are we
no, no,
talking
not
about...
Oliver, not Oliver. Like just my regular friends on the outside.
Are these athletes or non-athletes?
It's non-athletes, like
Well, then
yeah,
what's there to be jealous about if they're not an athlete?
people who like no, exactly right. No, I guess more so like they're jealous of the fact that like we have that single-minded focus and like we stuck through it like for long enough.
I see. So they're jealous that you have a passion and you are applying yourself to the passion.
Yeah, yeah,
I see.
exactly.
How is
And these
that?
were people that I once considered friends lah.
Okay, then how do you feel that distancing happens? How do you feel that they are jealous about it? Maybe they don't identify with it lah. That's one thing. But you specifically use the word jealous, ma. So I'm like, how do you know it's jealousy rather than they just don't identify? Because
Okay,
I agree with you.
maybe.
If I agree with you that if you're a single-minded athlete, you're probably not gonna have a whole lot of normal friends, because normal people don't identify what you do. Like invite you out for drinks and then you don't go because you have a focus. Then very soon they stop inviting you for drinks, and then you miss out on the network, and then you miss out on social events, and you miss out on everything, right? Not all the time, but usually.
I would
So
okay. I think
yeah, go for it.
jealous is too strong a word. I think jealous is too strong a word. I think like you said, it's like they don't really like how do I put it? These were people that as we were growing up, they kind of like made light fun of certain goals that you kind of put out there that you kind of talked about. And then like as you actually get to the point where you're reaching those goals, then these people are like, oh, like look at him, like it's like he doesn't really want to associate with us and stuff. But it's not really that. It's like how do I put it? Why would I want to spend my time um how do I put it? Like when these people used to invite me to go out and stuff, they would spend a lot of time talking down about other people or talking shit about other people. Then I'm like, why do I want to spend my time doing that? You know?
Yeah.
It's like we're not really on the same wavelength anymore, lah. And then like I've also heard like certain things from other people who are telling me that, oh, these same people who claim to be my friends like were also talking shit about me. Then I'm like,
ACS boys, Amir.
that's where the
ACS
kind
boys,
of disconnect comes from.
ACS
Yeah,
boys, is it?
yeah, exactly.
That's why lah, bro. You went to the
Yeah,
wrong
yeah.
school.
That's why I don't really have that kind of love for them. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I can't change the past, lah.
No,
right?
exactly. I mean,
So
but here's the funny thing. Wouldn't one think that going to ACS, most people are probably from very privileged backgrounds, financially, socially, family-wise. You're already in such a top 1% of people in terms of luck that fell in your lap from birth. You didn't do anything to earn that luck. Why you still want to talk down on other people? Like, like, aren't you in a very good position already? Why you still want to like go and hate and talk down on other people? Right? But I guess,
exactly.
people don't know what they have until they lose it, lah. So that's why it takes a prince losing his fortune to finally identify with the common man, right? All these stories about princes losing everything they have and then like rising from the ashes, like Buddha. So
Yep.
I think there's a bit of that. There's a bit of truth to these stories, lah. Oh well. Anyway, hopefully you
Yeah.
found your tribe now. You found people like Oliver, Romaine. I can't see Oliver talking down on anyone apart from himself. In fact, Oliver should
That is
talk other
very
people
true.
down a bit more. Not always talk down on himself, like share the negativity lah. Don't put it all in yourself. Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Does Ollie listen to the podcast?
I think so lah, but I actually don't know. I haven't really had the time to catch up with him because he's just so busy.
Yeah. Romaine?
I would
Ye-
hazard a guess that yes, he does.
Yeah. I'm sure he can listen to it on call or on the way to work or driving or whatever lah. All these doctors
Don't walk this
drive,
way.
right?
You'll be in the
Who's that?
yeah, maybe. That was Mark. Mark Lee.
Mark Lee.
Oh.
We should get
Yeah.
Mark Lee on the podcast. Yeah, he'll be our first male
Sprinter.
sprinter.
guest.
I was gonna say first sprinter, but we've got Kirsten on before.
That's true.
All right. Well, that's a cool intro. Now we're gonna dive into the one dumb thing runners do. That's the how Romaine and I open each podcast. Romaine, do you have
Or at
your,
least try to.
or at least we try to? Do you have your one dumb thing that runners do?
Yes, I do have one. Training when you're ill.
Training when you're ill. Yeah. I mean, that's very close to what I wanted to say. But go ahead. Training when you're ill. Why do you think people train when they're ill?
FOMO. They're scared of losing fitness. I guess they miss seeing their friends at training. But if you train alone, it's more of the first one. But if you're gonna train on the day that you're sick, you're just gonna feel worse after that, and everything will go downhill, and you miss
You're not
more
gonna.
days.
You're probably gonna have a shitty session or
Yeah,
subpar session, and then you're not gonna absorb the session because the body is busy fighting the bug, not repairing the micro tears and all the fatigue that come with it. So you dig yourself in. Basically, if you're sick, you're already in the hole. Don't go and dig yourself deeper into the hole and expect to climb out higher, right? Like what the hell? I mean, I guess it's common sense, but runners, like I said, on every episode are usually quite emotional, so logic doesn't always apply. I mean, honestly, I probably trained a few times with a sore throat or whatever in the past, but my pain tolerance actually for a long distance runner, my pain tolerance is quite low. If I have a bit of scratch on my foot or a bit of illness, I tend to not run. And maybe that's why I'm still running at 35. Not 35 yet, but less than a month's time, I will be 35. So, Romaine,
Yeah.
how is your tolerance? Have you ever trained when you're sick?
I have once or twice. It was probably in the beginning stages. I thought, okay, it'll probably go away in a few hours, but then the next day
Yeah.
it just flares out and like, nope, you're going down.
Yeah. I guess because I trained with Coach Stephen Quack, anyone who has trained with Coach Stephen Quack before has probably trained sick more than once in their life. Because the fear of getting scolded for being sick often is because you weigh your options, right? And it's like, all right, I'm sick. I can risk it, get through the session, and maybe I don't get found out, and then I get like 3 whole days until the next session to recover and then like hopefully come back healthier. Or I can declare sick and get scolded and feel like shit, and I don't get to run today, and then go for the next session and then get scolded there again or get judged there again. So I think that's the one primary thing that any Stephen Quack athlete has weighed in terms of there's a framework, right? Okay, cost benefit analysis. Okay, what are the risks? What are the benefits? It's more like damage limitation. Both ways are gonna suck. It's whether you want to deal with running sick or deal with Mr. Quack scolding you right away. But chances are people who go down the first option, they train when they're sick, they have a bad session, and then they stand in front getting scolded for the bad session or told off for the bad session, and then they will let out a cough, and then you can hear the phlegm or whatever, right? And then it's like, you're sick, you still train when you're sick? And then you get scolded again for training when you're sick and not telling him upfront. So it's not worth it, lah. No matter what, it's really not worth it. And always be honest with your coach if you're sick, because health is your responsibility. At the end of the day, you don't want to go collapse while you're sick. Best case scenario, you make it through the session, and then you have to dig yourself out of the hole. Worst case scenario, you collapse when you're sick. It has happened, so don't do that. Right? Amir, have you ever trained when you're sick?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like I have trained when I was sick, especially when I was younger. But obviously it was a lot easier to bounce back when you're younger, lah. But now, I remember there was one time when I tried to
You're still
do
young, dude. What are you, 22, 24?
No. I mean like when you're a teenager, right? Like when you're a teenager, it's like you just bounce back really, really quickly. But I remember when I tried to do it like recently, and I was like, holy shit, yeah, no go. Like I warmed up and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm not doing this.
Just wait till you're my age.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Not looking
one
forward
dumb
to it.
thing runners do, I think I can go next and give Amir a bit more time to think. But one dumb thing
Mm.
runners do, I was gonna say, I actually have a really a really good client that I enjoy working with. He he's hit multiple personal bests working together. You know, he does all the sessions and everything. But unfortunately, he twisted his foot on a run today. Like just uh, I think like 30% through a session on the track, he twisted his foot on the inside rail of the track. You know, like yeah. So he couldn't finish the session. He was like, "What can I do tomorrow to make up for it?" Now, there's a good attitude to have to want to, make up for lost work. And he probably feels like, wasted the session today. But I mean, I told him, like, I said, no, don't worry about catching up on the thing, on the lost work. Like, we want to let the ankle heal and be healthy before we do the next session. And I get it, as a runner, it's very frustrating to be midway through a session and do something stupid like twist your ankle and then I cannot train. But then coming back tomorrow, the ankle is not going to be fully healed. No, and then coming back tomorrow, running on an injured foot could lead to other injuries, could lead to an imbalance, and then you have less time to recover before the next session, and everything just compounded, right? So don't train when you're sick. Don't train when you're injured either. Health first, fitness second, and then performance will come on top of that. And I think that's the thing we always preach at. That's a philosophy we always preach at Run for So Fast Academy. Health first, fitness second, and performance on top of that. Amir, any dumb things that runners have done? Anything dumb that Mark or T. Ruben have done while on camp with you recently?
I think okay, not really them lah, but I mean speaking from experience, I think one dumb thing that I've probably done is and one dumb thing I've seen people like do is coming back from injuries and trying to chase fitness instead of letting the fitness come to you.
Yes. Trying to
And like
force it.
sticking to the plan, correct, and like sticking to the plan too rigidly to the point where like I mean some days you wake up and you just don't have it. Right? Like your body maybe you didn't have much sleep or like it's a very stressful
100%.
period, like maybe exam period or something, and you're still trying to
Yeah.
force through and get like high quality trainings in. Your body just won't respond.
Yes. Yes. And I think
Yeah.
it takes a bit of
But
experience to know, because sometimes it's like, why is it not responding? I just gotta lock in
correct.
more. I just gotta push
Correct.
harder. I'm not mentally tough enough. Yada da da, and then before you know it, it's like, it's like fishing lah, or chasing a girl, right? If you're fishing and then the fish is pulling, and then you like you don't give it some slack before you reel again, what happens? The line breaks eventually. Now, first of all, you're not making any progress. Secondly, the line can break. The line breaking is very symbolic of your burnout, or your mentally you just snap and you're like, fuck this,
Yep.
I don't want to do this anymore. Or in worst case,
Yep.
even worse, or possibly even worse than that, your Achilles snaps, or your hamstring snaps, or whatever. You get injured because you're forcing the body. Same thing as chasing a girl, right? Like if you force it, it's like she's kind of keen but not keen. The whole thing is like fishing, right? Like you don't go all in all the time. You don't like chase her all the time and like love bomb her and love shower. Even though it seems like Ryan Hall like managed to make it work with Sarah Hall if you read her book, but that's a relatively rare occurrence. You see. She might be into you, but then if you appear like too keen, then you're gonna like scare her away, right? Or at the best case scenario, she'll think that you're always available, and then she'll kind of keep you there as a backup plan while she go fish around some more. Worst case scenario, she just loses interest entirely, and then congrats, you put in all that effort for nothing. So yes, let it cut. There must be a process. Let it come. I'm not saying completely ignore her and like don't talk to her ever again, but let it come, like training. You don't say, I don't have it, therefore I'm gonna take 2 months off. No, like maybe you go easier sessions, you might be running 2 or 3 seconds slower a lap, but let it come to you. And then most importantly, I think if you enjoy running and you enjoy the process, you're gonna go out and run anyway. And if you're enjoying that, then what's there not to enjoy about the process and your friends and everything? So yeah, process over outcome. Romaine, do you like my analogy there?
The fishing one was more PG, so yeah.
What's un-PG about dating or chasing a girl?
Compared to the first analogy that you opened this episode with.
Oh, exactly.
That was hilarious.
Oh my
That
god,
one is
Shannon's
golden.
mom and dad are going to listen to this episode and be like, you said what? to my daughter.
Oh no.
I should have kept in mind that she was 17. But you know what? They're gonna learn sooner or later, parents. They're gonna learn from, if not, I think that was quite PG already. I wasn't going into the graphic details of it, just talking about like a concept of virginity. But, they're gonna learn from you, gonna learn from the internet. Have you seen Instagram Reels nowadays? If
Oh
you're
my
a guy,
goodness.
Instagram, if you're a guy, right, Instagram Explore page is basically porn, It's basically like all these bikini babes in very little clothing. Every time I open my Instagram Explore feed, my wife hits me in the face because she's like, why is your Explore feed full of girls? I'm like, the algorithm knows. Like, no, literally, if you scroll through, right, it's running girls, and sometimes it's like runner girls in skimpy, the sports bra and then the buns. It's not my fault that I follow running, and it's not my fault that these girls are fast, and it's not my fault that Kitty Hodgkinson, when she runs, she's quite revealing lah in the things that she wears, for example. It's not my fault. So why am I getting hit in the face for? It's Instagram's fault for doing the algorithm as such, right?
That's
It's
actually
not
so
my fault.
relatable. I understand.
Yeah. So what the hell? I don't understand. So yeah, point being, if you discuss, I think discussion needs to be more open, because if kids don't learn through like civil discussion, they're gonna learn through the internet. And who do you want educating your kid? You want to educate your kid, your friends educate your kid, or you want the internet to educate your kid? You choose lah. Cause I can tell you, internet educate your kid, all kinds of stuff come out lah. They can find anything on there. Okay, this is supposed to be a running podcast. I don't know how we delved into parenting and philosophy and all this other stuff. Romaine, can we do some news flashes and review perhaps the second biggest marathon in the Singapore scene, the Gold Coast Marathon this weekend? Would you guys agree with that classification? It's basically a mini Singapore marathon, like 5 months before the Singapore Marathon in cool weather. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
like, I think there was a stat on the Gold Coast Marathon Instagram page where the top nation, the top non-Australian nation participating in the Gold Coast Marathon is Singapore.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, because Singapore is small. But I guess it also speaks to two things. One is that Singaporeans possibly have more disposable income, but also two, Singapore's got no options lah. In Indonesia, a whole lot of they don't have to leave Indonesia to run many marathons, right? But there's Jakarta, there's like Bali, there's like Berber something. I can't pronounce it.
Borobudur.
Borobudur.
Jogja.
Thank you very much. Malaysia is a whole ton of marathons over the country. Vietnam is a whole ton of marathons over the country. Thailand is a whole ton of marathons over the country. Singapore is smaller than Bangkok lah. So, that's what. So I guess that's why. And also it's cool weather, so it attracts us who want to go for a good time. Any notable performances, Romaine, from the weekend?
Wow. Where do I begin?
I didn't do any home. As usual, I did zero homework, but I was busy with my own race over the weekend. I ran 8:35 in Belgium, 3,000 meters. But I have my laptop next to me, so I can run through the results if we need be. So Romaine and Amir, I'll let you guys take the lead on going through results. Who ran well, and who ran poorly?
Oh, okay. So let's start with who ran well. The first day, there was the half marathon and the 10K. And I think the headlines from that were Vanessa running the half marathon national record after 30 years, or depending on when the record starts.
Yes. Thank you very much. You reminded me of the half marathon, the controversial women's Singapore half marathon national record. So, okay, first things first. I think Vanessa. This was what we talked about the last time. It was a rematch between Nicole and Vanessa. After the Singapore half marathon national championships in December, where Nicole was first, Jasmine was second, Vanessa was third. So this time Vanessa won the so-called showdown or the matchup. But Nicole didn't have a very good race. I was actually quite surprised when I saw that she didn't even break 120 after going 117 earlier in the year on a course that I don't think was anywhere near as conducive as Gold Coast. So so the first thing I thought is that she was sick or something, or just had a bad day, like whatever. But then I recall, because someone else mentioned to me over Instagram that she had done high rocks recently. So there you go, guys. High rock slows you down if you're a runner. Nicole proved it. The best half, possibly the half marathon national champion in Singapore, 117 in Japan, goes and does a high rocks training cycle and runs 121. So 3 cheers for high rocks. Amir, is high rocks a real sport?
No. No. There's no debate. No.
A lot of our guests try and dodge the question, they're like, ER. You went straight to it. No. There we go. It's 8 times a K with exercises in between. That's what it is.
It's just intervals, that's it.
And a lot of these people, they're not even running. You see the way they're lumbering around,
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Romaine, apart from high rocks, did Nicole face any other disadvantages that day?
Not that I know of. Yeah,
Amir,
that was
any
about
idea?
it.
Amir, you weren't there, I guess.
I
You're
think
far away.
she had, yeah. No, I think she did say that after 4K, like the wheels fell off or something. Not
Yeah.
exactly sure why, but that's all that I know.
High rocks lah,
and-
that's why. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah lah.
I'm removing all
That-
blame from Nicole and putting it to high rocks.
That's probably also why lah. But I mean, to be fair, also Vanessa, in cooler weather, Vanessa always does better.
I think
I
Yeah.
don't
cooler or warmer weather, Vanessa typically has the edge over most people.
No, most people, yes, but I'm talking about Nicole specifically. I think since
Yeah, same.
Nicole's gotten stronger, I would say in Singapore maybe it would have been a bit closer, or like it would have been a bit more different.
Okay. I'll
Just my 2
address-
cents.
Excuse me. I'll address this point, then we can move on talking about the story of the half marathon record lah. But I do think that Nicole usually runs or races as a pacer for Vanessa. That's number one. I seldom see it the other way around, apart from when Nicole ran the SEA Games qualifying time last year in the 5,000. I think Vanessa helped her there. But also, Nicole doesn't really engage like male pacers to run with her the whole way in general, and Vanessa does it a bit more
Yeah.
often. So it's not just the weather; it's the ability to compete like one-on-one, head to head, without like pacers interfering with the competition or assisting in the competition lah. So for example, like half marathon national champs, yes, there are men there, I get it, but for the women's race, it's effectively a championship style race lah, where if you want to run away from people, you got to do it alone lah. You're not gonna have like Darren Chong holding your hand and running 21K with you, right? So well done, Darren Chong, on pacing the half marathon national record for women, and well done to Vanessa for, what did she run? 106.
116.
116.04.
04.
Okay, well, so not far from sub 76.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is really quick lah.
Yeah. I mean, we have not seen. I mean, I think that. Okay, I think it. I would say it's. Okay, you say it's really quick, right? I think in this day and age, 116 is not what it used to be. I'm gonna sound like a fucking boomer again. I'm gonna talk about back in my day. But really lah, now with the shoes and everything, 116 now. Okay, 116 now really feels like 120 a couple years ago. Do you know who else ran Gold Coast? Because they were quite. Xingling ran Gold Coast. Romaine, how did she do? Half marathon.
Correct.
Okay, so on the list of Singaporeans who ran the Gold Coast half marathon last weekend, for the women, Van was the first Singaporean female in 116.04, and second Singaporean female was Xingling, 118.07. So
That's
solid PB
insane,
for
lah.
her.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's basically Vanessa's old PB. And if anyone had asked you to bet if Xingling would beat Vanessa's 118 or whatever you call it, Would you have put any money on it?
Yep.
Yup, as in you would have put money on it, or yup, as in you're agreeing that with my question, or what is yup? No, okay, I repeat. I'm asking, before the race, Vanessa's OPB is at 118.0, whatever lah. I can't remember.
Yep.
And then, assuming Vanessa didn't run, right? Would you, and then we know Xingling is running, would you have said, oh, Xingling's going to beat Vanessa's PB?
You're asking me or Romaine?
I'm asking both of you lah, and some of that
Okay.
PB is not that soft lah. I mean, okay, not soft or not soft, but that PB Vanessa ran with paces some more. Like I think it was Sean and Zorn or something like that. I can't remember the exact story, but I think
No. This one she ran with that PB. She only ran with Sean at
okay.
last year Melbourne.
Okay, so got again lah male pacer the whole way lah. So did Xingling have a male pacer?
Don't think so.
Okay,
Might
she
have
might have found
packed lah,
people
but I don't
midway through
think-
the race, but she
yeah.
didn't have a designated male. It's not like she brought Dylan there to run with her lah, right? So
Yeah.
my
I think
question
so.
is, Vanessa ran 118 with a male pacer, okay?
Yeah.
Do you think before this Gold Coast half marathon, you would have put money on Xingling beating Vanessa's time?
I don't think. Okay. I go first. Can I go first? Or
Yeah.
okay. I think genuinely based on her form, I would have thought Xingling would have broken her, like would have ran under 120, but I don't think she would have ran that fast.
Exactly.
It was surprising that she ran 78 lah.
What was the OPV? 122? I mean, she said it on our episode. I can't remember. 122,
121 or 122, I think.
Yeah,
But-
about 122.
but not. What was it in Malaysia or something like that?
It was in Singapore, no?
Singapore.
Oh no, Borneo. Borneo.
Yeah, it was in the
I think
region,
so.
tropical.
Yeah, it was tropical lah. I think she said it wasn't as hot as in Singapore, but still, it's Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
How good can the conditions be? So so would you have thought she would run 118 low? I don't think I would have put money on that lah. So that's why I'm saying
No lah.
comparing Xingling to in the past the likes of Serena Teo and Xingling have both run 250 for marathon. Serena Teo was nowhere near 118. So Serena, and by the way,
Teo ran
Serena held the
250?
half marathon record for about 24 hours. Before SA's Malik Al-Junid back in the day said, oh, actually the record was never Mok Ing Rong's record. Now I need to trace back. Okay, so Mok Ing Rong, if you go and see her website or her profile on social media or whatever, it still states ex half marathon national record holder Singapore. And if you Google her name with half marathon record, that 123 half marathon
14.
so-called record still
Yeah.
comes out. All right, I remember this because Mok Ing Ren was posting everywhere, was posting very loudly on social media. Like, oh, we're the first brother and sister in the world to hold the half marathon record simultaneously. Haha. But so yes, she held the half marathon record. It was in the news and everything, like Straits Times, featuring Mok Ing Rong and Mok Ing Ren as the brother sister. I think featuring Mok Ing Rong and mentioning Mok Ing Ren also holds the half marathon record. It's like 20. Which year was it, Romaine? 2015.
I
2016?
have to look that up
2016,
real
2016.
quick.
2016.
Okay, 2016.
Yep.
lah. So, Mok Ing Rong effectively held officially lah, I guess. Was it
Officially.
even okay? Fine. I don't know whether it was kept as a half marathon record. Let's just assume it was. Officially,
was.
she held a half marathon record for 3 years. 2019, Serena ran like a minute faster, and then thought she had broken the half marathon record, and then because Malik Al-Junid or SAA or whoever went to check the records and they realized, oh, you know what? 123 by Mok Ing Rong was never the half marathon national record. It was actually Yvonne Danson in 1996 in Senpai, Japan. She ran 116 there. So overnight, Mok Ing Rong got stripped of the half marathon national record. I've never seen a record being broken by someone who ran it before you. Much less 20 years before you. What kind of shit is that? Okay, and then, and Serena, by the way, never really got recognition as the half marathon national record holder, right?
No.
Don't think so.
Yeah. So actually in this situation, would you still list yourself as the former half marathon national record holder? On your social media? and your website
No
and your
lah.
accolades and your resume.
I took it down the moment that Sean broke my record. Like, why would I be so hard up about it?
No, oh, you took it
Yeah.
down. Okay, so for you, you're completely different. You never even put X record holder or
No
whatever.
lah. No lah. For what?
I don't know. Like, there are people who, like, at one point of time, no, if you broke the world record and someone breaks your world record, at one time you were the fastest man in the world, right? So you'd be like, yeah, ex world record holder lah. I don't think anyone will hold it against you if you were like ex national record holder, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is it records are just there to be there. Like, they're gonna be broken anyway. So there's no point in me putting myself as an ex national record holder. Like,
Sure. I mean, I get it. I mean,
that's
I'm the
just
same
me,
way.
that's just me.
One point of time, you and Sean were breaking my records 3 times in 1 year. I had to edit from 7 down to 6, down to 5, down to 4, right? And then Sean took
Yeah,
it down
exactly.
to 3, and then I brought it back to 4. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So Wang Yurong still lists herself as the ex-national record holder, lah. Which, to me, like, officially she was for 3 years. For 2.5 years, 3 years she was. I mean, it was in the, not that everything that comes out in the Straits Times is truth, fact. We all know that Straits Times has published wrong things before, or at least published statements that have not been verified, right? We all know this.
Yeah.
But, newspapers report, or rather, they are supposed to report to the best of their ability. There are lots of newspapers that are terrible with fact checking and they report shit. So just because it's in the news doesn't mean that it's true, lah. So I mean, I'm in the same boat. I don't think that Mok Ying should be claiming on her resume at least to be an ex-national record holder, especially when the ex-national record was like 7 minutes faster. Anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah, Yvonne Danson Tan, I believe her husband's surname was Tan.
Yes.
1996. So
Yes.
she was a British lady who was already a pretty good runner before she got married and became a Singaporean, and she did represent Singapore at the SEA Games before. Did she ever win a gold medal, Romaine? I think she's got a silver. The story was
She got a
that
silver.
1995 or 1990s, I don't know which SEA Games are. In the 1990s, she entered the stadium and she was she was in the lead for the marathon, and she was so delirious that she didn't realize that she still had one more lap to run. So she thought she finished and started walking. I'm talking, so yeah, and then she got overtaken lah. And then she had to rally and finish second. I cannot remember which year that was, and obviously I was too young to be there. So, but we need to, I guess.
1995 Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai didn't finish in the stadium, did it? That was the short course as well lah. That was the one that Ramachon ran 2:24 when he.
I think so. Maybe.
2:28, 2:29 in London and Berlin, but 2:24 in Chiang Mai. Damn solid.
Yeah, but it's the national record. National record also. She ran 2:34 apparently.
In Chiang Mai?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And she got a bronze in the 10K as well in 1995.
So bronze in 10K and silver in the marathon.
Yep.
She only went to one SEA Games, Yvonne Danson.
She only medaled in one SEA Games. I'm not sure if she went to more than that.
Is that her overall PB for the marathon? Because I think she will be the type of runner that can run 2:30 something for marathon, like everywhere, anywhere.
I think
Short
no.
course,
Her PB in Boston is 2:30.53.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but that's Boston. And then her other PB from like her actual record PB is from Victoria Marathon, I think, in Canada.
Victoria Marathon in Canada. And what is that?
2:32.24.
Okay lah. So while I guess we can, which is basically a half marathon pace lah. What the hell? 1:16,
Yeah.
2:32. So
Yep.
the half marathon national record was her marathon PB pace.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what I did with the 10K road record for a while lah. It was set in the same race as the half marathon, so it's not unheard of if she just never raced. And back in the day also, I guess it was harder to find a half marathon. But despite all that, the record has been standing in a long time, so Vanessa has brought it into the modern era. But you see, like, I think even before Vanessa ran this, like, Nicole was running 1:17, and then like now we got Xingling running 1:18. So you would think that after so many years, right? If you run 116, you're head and shoulders above the rest, but you see that behind there's 117, 118, and I hope this doesn't come off as offensive to Xingling, but I don't really see her as a very strong half marathon runner. Like, I always thought she was more of a marathon runner. She herself whole day says she got no speed, no speed, no speed. Not that half marathon's about speed, but she's like, oh, no speed, half marathon, like, you know, like, I'm more like longer the better marathon. And then she pop out 118. What the hell? I, so I was a bit I'm mind blown by some of these results. Was it a good day, Romaine? It had to be. It had to be a good day. Like
Weather-wise,
weather-wise.
anecdotally, I'm hearing that it was a good day, minimal wind.
Yeah.
Weather wasn't too cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the coast, sometimes I think it can be windy, so I think it's a bit hit and miss on the Gold Coast. But it sounds like they had a good day because, you know, there's 116, there's 118. Unfortunately, Nicole couldn't capitalize on a good day. That's what you get for doing high rocks. Xuan Jie didn't have a great day either, right?
Yeah,
Mm,
right.
Was it a PB?
I think so.
So she didn't have a
If
good
it
day
It
and
was
she
a
was,
still
marginal
PB.
PB.
Okay, but
yeah,
she wanted much better lah.
yeah.
Yeah lah,
Okay, you see
naturally.
what I mean by 116 is not what it used to be, right? I was saying 116 is it's like what 120 was like 7 years ago when Serena ran 122. Xuan Jie 121 disappointed. That means she was expecting to break 120 lah. 7 years ago we got no one breaking 120 lah.
True, true.
And Xuan Jie is what? She's here, what, 15 years old? She looks about 12.
No lah. He's like 22, I think.
Yeah, I mean now 22-year-old come out and then like disappointed at 121. So I don't know. Shoes, bicarb, Nomeo, beetroot. I don't know. Something has changed lah
There's
this
a lot
age.
of things lah.
Yeah. I, I actually finally got super shoes last year in October. I better take a crack at my half marathon before it's too late. But okay, Romaine, what else are we looking at on the women's side for the half marathon?
A Okay, so we have Vanessa Xingling, Nicole Xuanjie, and followed by Jasmine Teo with a 1:23:13.
That's
And
not a fantastic time for Jasmine, is it? For someone who finished second in Singapore, she probably ran faster than that in Singapore, if not the same.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, from her splits, it looks like she did not have a fun time after the first 5K.
Okay, so maybe just injury or fitness getting in the way, or lack of
Yeah.
fitness getting in the way rather. Okay, so
Then after Jasmine, you have Kai Yi, her first half marathon, and that's after she ran a sub 40 in the 10K for the first time in April.
oh wow, I did not know that. I did not know Kai was running the Gold Coast Marathon either. She never posted there on Instagram, did she?
She did. I think she did.
Okay, I guess my
About
algorithm is not directing me towards Kai. Is apparently directing me towards girls with skimpier clothing.
That's crazy.
So
All
Kai
right
not dressed
then.
skimpily enough apparently for the algorithm.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
then beyond that, there's a couple other names I don't really recognize. There's 128, 130, 136, 138. Yeah.
The near 130, 136. Okay. If you don't recognize, then no point talking
Yeah.
about it lah.
Okay, then finally moving on to the men for the half marathon. Uh, First Singaporean across the line is Richie Heng, the 69:44.
Yeah, I think that made him only the fourth man in Singapore history to crack 70 minutes for the half marathon, 110. I think 110 was a big barrier for us for a long time. Mok Ingren was the first guy who broke 110. He actually single-handedly took it down to 107 mid all by himself, and then I came along and started running 109, 108, 107, 107, and then we traded records for a couple times. I broke his record in 2015. He broke it back 4 months later, January 2016. and then I broke it 3 years later in January 2019, and that was the first time we had a 66 in Houston, and then I broke it by 1 second in Valencia 2023, where Sean ran 109 and became the third guy under 110. So yeah, a couple of developments there, and then so between Sean and Richard, less than 3 years, we got one more guy under 110. So that's the timeline of sub 70.
And I think John Lim was also quite close. He was 70 something
Yeah,
as well.
71.5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
70
would
15.
that would
Correct.
probably make him fifth in Singapore history.
Yes, I think so. Correct.
Okay, but I think
In
in
front of
general
Keen Ko, I think.
we have more depth lah. We have more depth in. But again, 70 is not what it used to be lah. I'm sorry, but if Keen
Yeah lah,
Ko
yeah
is
lah.
6 all time on the half marathon list, then 70 is not what it used to be.
Speaking of that name is missing from this list of who ran at Gold Coast.
Well, we addressed this the last episode, right? He pulled out. I actually invited him, because this guy, Amir, I don't know whether you know, he wrote in complaining that I said untrue stuff about him on the podcast. But he
Yep.
came in all guns blazing on WhatsApp, and I didn't even have his number saved. So I was like, "Who is this? I don't have his number saved." And he was like, "Oh, you pretend you dare to say, but you don't dare to answer for your actions, blah blah blah." I'm like, "No, I really don't have this number saved." And then he said that he was keen lah. So I said, he said he was Keen Ko in capitals, by the way. He was like, you know I'm the one and only Keen Ko in capitals. And then I'm like, okay, dude, I would love to hear from you. Actually, I genuinely think Keen would be a good guest, or will make a good episode on the podcast. So I invited him. He said, "I'm very busy with work and training now. Can we do it after Gold Coast?" I said, "Sure. In the meantime, can you please make a list of all the things that are apparently untrue?" He said, I said, every episode we talk about him. It's not that we talk about him every episode. It's that we talk about races every episode. Who beat who finished first in that race, and then Keen was leading the race, and then he DNF'd. Richard outsprinted Keen to get the final SEA Games spot. All these are just part of the narrative. It's not my fault that you keep losing to people, or you keep blowing up in races. It's not my fault. It's just how the race went, right? So it's not my fault that you wrote the story for yourself. So what part of it is untrue? I said, please make a list and let me know. I will read out the clarifications if need be. He gave me a thumbs up reaction. Now it's been 3 weeks or 2 weeks. No, zero things there's no list. And then when I found out he was withdrawn from the race, I sent him a message like, "Hey, sorry to hear about the withdrawal. You want to come on the podcast anytime?" No reply. And then yesterday, someone actually sent me this Instagram story he posted on his own IG stories. Let me read it to you. It was a meme or something. Or Romaine, would you call it a meme, Romaine?
I forget. I forgot what you sent me already.
It was okay. I
No
found
lah,
it.
it's not a meme.
If you're on Spotify, you can turn on your screen and see this lah. But I'm showing it to the camera. It was, if you're going to talk about me, at least invite me. Now, God knows if he's referring to the podcast or not, but the fact that people screenshot this and send to me means they suspect that he's talking about the podcast lah. Well,
Yeah.
he cannot possibly be talking about the podcast because, sure, I'm talking about him right now, and I invited him twice. And I'm inviting him again because I know he's going to listen to this. Keen Ko, I know you're listening to this podcast. You're invited to come on the show anytime. Literally anytime. And I'm waiting for that list of alleged inaccuracies so that I can help you correct it. If so is the case. Moving on. Keen Ko didn't run Gold Coast, and I think the World Half Marathon Championship team the World Road Running Championship team, we can send 4 guys, and right now the list of guys is looking quite different ever since Gold Coast. It's now myself with 68.40, Richard with 69.44, what's his face? John with 70.15, and then Keen with 70.26. So Keen survives the 70.36. He survives the Gold Coast assault on his position on the team. Yeah, I guess Keen needs to bow down and give Sean Go a hand job lah, because Sean backing out of the half marathon saying that he was not fit and then going to the 10K and then breaking the national record for 10K. Surely the guy could have sleepwalked his way to a 69. At least in the half.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
At least.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So I
he
know this
probably
kid
could. He
always
probably
bitching
could.
about Sean and everything. No, Sean is not grateful. Da, da, da. He's stupid also. He can bitch to people who are obviously not his friends, so they circulate it for him. Sean, yeah, you can go and like thank Sean for, that you're still on the team, because if Sean had run the Gold Coast half, you would not be on the team. No way. Unless Sean slipped and fell and stepped on a broccoli and slipped and fell. I don't know.
Oh, the broccoli's insane.
No, the broccoli is wild.
You know why I
That's
say broccoli,
crazy.
right? Because after that, the first time he broke 69 minutes for the half, he was supposed to come and find me in the sub-elite area after the race, but Sean at Valencia half, he was so excited, he started talking to the people around him who had also run 69. Talk, walk, missed the exit. Walk like 1 or 2K down in Valencia when finally the funnel had broken off, and then he realized that he was lost in a foreign country, had no idea where the sub-elite 10 was, had picked up all the goodies on the way out of the finisher funnel. So he when and then we had to leave already. It was like an hour or hour and a half, and we still had no sign of Sean Go. And all the elite buses were leaving. So I told one of the volunteers, not volunteers, the staff there, Marie Carmen, who helps us with our hotel. I said, Marie, please look out for Sean. I think he's lost. I think he went down or something. So Marie found him like an hour after the race with a banana, a broccoli in his hand, a finisher medal, and like some random goodies. Like no, so apparently I think that there was a banana company sponsoring the race and a vegetable producer or broccoli producer sponsoring the race. So she found Sean like in his singlet and shorts, like tired, lost, scared, with a banana in one hand, a broccoli in the other, and like just like a bit sad. Then she was like, Sean, and then found him and took him back to the hotel. I met him like, I got to the hotel, I showered, I think I used my massage boots and everything. I was waiting for him to go for lunch. I thought he DNF. I was feeling damn bad. Wow, I was like, shit, man. I asked him to come all the way to Valencia, and then he DNF. Then Romaine was like, no, he ran 69. I'm like, what? That's awesome. Then where is he? Wait until like 1-2 hours later, then he appeared at my door with, in the state in like that lah. Then I'm like,
That's
okay,
crazy.
take a shower, let's go for lunch, and then we. Have you ever seen Sean go drink alcohol? Because that day we drank alcohol and ate the whole afternoon and evening, and then next day he went back, and I actually got him. I didn't tell him I was going to do this, but I got him a transport to the hotel, and the transport was together with the Ethiopian team.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so and I was like, oh Sean, that's your car. You go in. Then he went it. Then he looked from the outside. He could see like, Salomon Barrega and all these guys inside
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
car.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember
I
this song.
still
I
have a
remember this
photo of
song.
the car, like of him sitting with them, and then I took it from the outside, and then I was like, bye. And then I saw him. I didn't see him again
Damn.
until Singapore Marathon. So yeah, that's the story. That's why when I think of Sean, I think of broccoli. That's the story.
Yeah, that's a very funny story. It's
So
actually
Sean
really,
Go
really
breaks
funny.
his own 10 km national record, takes it down from
Yep.
31 minutes to 30:41.
One.
One.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a
30:41.
big
Yeah.
slashing lah. That's like 1.9 seconds a k. That's significant.
Yeah.
And this
I
this comes
mean,
at a good time for him because not that sorry, it's always a good time to run well, but it comes at a nice time for him because I think I didn't know he was struggling so much with this. I just thought that a bad race is bad race lah. But apparently he was struggling with a bit of pressure and like mental stress and everything. And he spoke about it quite a bit in the Straits Times article that I managed to see because he reposted it, and then some of the video interviews that he reposted as well. He was talking about like I don't know what is it, pressure.
Okay,
I think
sure.
expectation as well because he's gone pro.
But expectations from whom?
Like internally lah, and also like he doesn't want to let down the people who believe in him that when he went pro ma.
Yeah, lah. I guess that is a bit of a because now it's like, okay, now that I've taken all this support, I feel like I have to perform, right?
Correct.
Okay. I mean, I didn't think that. I think towards the end he said like he didn't feel like he was having fun like when going for the second. He had 4 races right in Europe. So one was the
Correct.
5K. He ran really well. I thought he ran really well. 14:45. I thought it was a really good performance. And unless you're telling me someone is telling him that, is a failure because he didn't break the national record lah. I don't think that should be. I mean, he 10-second PB. You can't ask for more than that. Second race, 3K. Sure, it's a clunker. It didn't go well, but he went for it. Too bad. Sometimes it just doesn't stick lah. Too bad lah. And then the mile, he got the national record. And then but the last race that one was really off lah. Like 15, like I think he ran 15:20 or 22 or 24 or whatever. He basically smashed that time in the first 5K of Gold Coast when he went out in like 15:06. But I think Sean does do a bit of this where he's not afraid to take risks ma. So he'll go out, he'll go for it, right? If I'm trying to run 30, 40 for 10K, you think I'll go out in 15:06? No way. Like I'll go out 15:30, 15:20 and then try and run the same or negative split lah. But Sean does take this kind of risk lah, which is why it's fun to watch, but it's also like, you have to deal with it. Sometimes not going well, like when it doesn't go well, it really goes south lah. Like, last year, I think the 10,000 meters that he ran last year was a great example. He had 2 really bad 10Ks before he ran the national record. And then SEA Games, he tried going out hard and it didn't really pay off either, but he still had it together quite okay. So I didn't really understand why he was feeling all that pressure, but I guess, first time for everything. If you're first time going pro, first time going to Europe, throwing everything you have at it. I guess a bit of that. And it looked like he was ready to get the fuck out of Europe and go home at the end of it. That's what I thought I sensed it. I was like, maybe whatever. But then when I read the interview, I was like, okay, there's actually something there.
Yeah.
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 What's funny?
I mean,
funny? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean when I was talking to him and he was telling me, I think he feels that there was a lot of the traveling involved because he kept going back to Saint Moritz as well. So a lot of that traveling also like might have fatigued him and all these things lah. But I told him like at the end of the day, look, like it's an experience lah, and you learn and you move on lor.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But isn't that what athletes do? Travel to races?
No. Like what he would do is he would travel. He would keep traveling back to Saint Moritz, and it's like long drives and flights and all these things. And he felt like that, and also like altitude is a stressor that our body needs to adapt to as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there are a lot of these traveling things. Yeah.
But what's the alternative?
I don't know.
I mean, if you're there to train altitude and race, what's the alternative? You don't want to travel and stay in Singapore, lor.
No, okay. I get that, but I guess what he could have done maybe was done the altitude stint, and then maybe have reduced the traveling too much, or maybe just do like 2 or 3 races instead of 4 races out of the bat, because it's also his first time going to altitude.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, okay, I guess the 4th race I think was added quite late lah. It's only because I think he missed the first attempt at the 5K, and I have to assume that that's the goal lah, since it looked like he was going for it, and there's slight disappointment that he didn't get it. Whatever. And since he's going all the way there, I would guess that's the objective lah. I mean, I think that's what his coach would have wanted lah. I think Jordan would have wanted him to break the ENA. I think I think it's a natural goal. If you're gonna go all in, you have to break the Singapore national records to advance to the next level. But at the same time, before you can break the ENA, you have to break your own PB first. So I would never have said to him, Sean, you need to break the national record in the next race when his PB is 14:55. Break 14:50 first, get down to 14:45, and then when you have a good day, you break it lah. You can't expect him to take one big swing and bang straight away at 14:35, right? No way. So
I mean, to be fair, his road PB was 14:49.
Yeah, but we all know that road 5Ks are very different from track, and in fact, among the sub-elites in London here, there is an agreement that there is a consensus that road is faster because you can wear super shoes.
Oh, really?
Because you can wear super shoes, okay. What? Track, you don't have super shoes, You have super spikes, but it's nowhere near.
Does that only apply to 5K?
I think the longer the distance goes, the more the shoes matter. Of course. I mean, I wouldn't go and
Sure.
run 100 meters in super shoes lah.
Yeah lah. But like, so you would say like a 10K would be 10K on the road is easier than 10K on the track lah.
I can tell you, nine times out of 10, you give people a good 10K race versus a good track 10K, sorry, a good road 10K race versus a good track 10K race. 9 out of them will run faster on the road. Why? Road super shoes is one. Two is that there are thousands of people or hundreds of people running on the road lah. So you're never gonna be lonely in terms of unless you're really in no man's land. It's not like on the track. On the road you always have a pack to run with. If you're in a good race that is tailored to your ability, versus the track where everyone is in lane one. What you are running is solely dependent on the guy in front of you, and you need to know when to make moves, when to overtake. You don't just camp in a big pack and relax, and then you don't feel the kilometers tick by. Track is like, who is the person, Romaine, that doesn't like running on a track? Esther, right?
Esther and Nijia.
Yeah, Esther and Nijia. Basically, 100% of the Malaysians we interviewed, both prefer the road because on the track they feel that it's a long grind lah. So mentally, if you cannot take that, how you run 25 laps? How? Tell me how.
Fair.
And then apart from that, it's much easier to find a road 10K than a track 10K. Right?
Yeah, especially in this day and age.
Exactly. And then you find a track 10K, doesn't mean you get into the good races or the good heats or whatever. You look at the shit that I had to deal with last year going to Japan. When I went there and then I was supposed to run in one race, and then when I tried to report, my name was not on the start list, and then after investigation they realized that they accidentally moved me to a race that was 4 hours later because they thought I was Korean, and then the Korean team manager had said that he didn't want his guys in this race because the race was too slow, so he asked them to move them from heat 2 to heat 6. So he moved everyone heat 2 to heat 6, and they thought Soh Rui Yong is Korean. Probably because I'm really good looking, but probably because of the name lah. Right? Soh Rui Yong sounds more Korean than Japanese, so the automatic lah, bam. Then I had to negotiate. I said, I'm not gonna wait 4 effing hours to race lah. Come on, like put me in heat 4 or something like that. So I eventually negotiated go heat 4 lor. After warm up, I have to do this. By the way, I don't speak Japanese and they don't speak much English, so a lot of Google Translate. Then I warm up again, and then I go and run, and then thank God lah, I ran. The weather was good and everything. I ran 30:33, 10,000 meter record. So I was like, dude, like
That's
it's
crazy.
damn hard to find a good 10K. It's damn hard to find a good 10,000. 5,000, probably easier than 5,000 meters, a lot easier than a track 10,000. Still not easy. Track different beast lah. Especially 10K lah. So so I guess well done to Sean, 30:41. You know what's funny is that I went to Belgium and ran, and I did you ever encounter Thies Maru, who used to run the Singapore Shufflers?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of him.
Okay. He was already a good runner. He's grown to be fantastic, 65-minute half and 14:15 5K on the road. But guess his track PB?
It's 14:50, right, or something like that.
Yeah, 14:50 on the track, 14:15 on the road. There, another example for you. Yeah. We actually had a chat about it while we were running. He was just like, on the road, it's just like, it's over before I know it. And then I just like lock in and go, and then it's over before I know it. On the track, walao, he actually was in the same Vienna race as Sean. Sean didn't run well, and then DNF in the race after that. So I don't think there were a whole lot of like happy experiences on that day. I think it was we are still having a heat wave here. It's like 32 degrees outside today in London. But
oh wow.
Yeah. I am hoping it cools down a bit for Thursday because I have a 5K of my own to run on the track on Thursday in 2 days' time. So, oh well, it's not as if I haven't run a hot 5K before. I'll be fine. But yeah, so talking about
your national record was set in Singapore lah. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't think you have an issue there.
I should not have an issue.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when Sean was in Vienna, I think because Thies was also there, and Thies and Sean know each other from Singapore, I think. Actually, no, sorry, they haven't met before. They haven't met in person before. I remember now
Hmm.
because Thies told me that when he actually met Sean in person, he was surprised at how chatty Sean was. He thought that Sean was very quiet,
Reserved.
reserved, quiet.
Ah,
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
okay.
If talking about running and nerding about running, then definitely Sean will open up. Lah. But Thies did also mention that he invited Sean to come out, go to the swimming, like go for a run, take a dip in the pool together, whatever, chill out the day before the race. And then Sean was keen about it, but eventually Sean couldn't go because apparently Jordan wasn't keen on it, so Sean couldn't go. Then Thies was like, "What?" And then apparently when Thies met Jordan at the race itself, Jordan wasn't the most friendly to Thies either, lah, so I don't think the whole experience. The Thies was a bit like, no, I just wanted to chill. How come cannot?
Yeah.
So, and then Sean, after he runs that 30-minute 10K in 30-40 10K in Gold Coast, he actually did have a nice message crediting Jordan in the Straits Times for helping him overcome, like, I think the quote was tough mental hurdles or pressure or whatever. I'm like, well,
Hmm.
Jordan is the one who's preventing him from chilling out the day before a race, so maybe you should just let him chill.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we
Jordan's a
all
bit of
know,
a
right? Like a
yeah.
relaxed, happy athlete probably gonna run better. Not asking you to go to the nightclub before the race, like chill out, see your friend. I don't know. Apart from Sean, any other notable performances in the 10K? I don't think many Singaporeans did a 10K, right?
Well, Jacob,
Jacob Tam.
who trains with Tracks, ran
Yeah,
a 33:01 10K.
that's good. I mean, I don't think he's run many 10Ks, but I know he doesn't like 10K.
Yeah.
I think it was a PB for him, so
I
It
mean,
it
for
was.
should
someone
it
who
It
doesn't run
was.
many
should
10Ks, it's probably a PB lah. Is that what he was going for?
He wanted a sub 33, I believe.
Yikes.
Because last year Najib ran 32:59.
Uh,
and
Yeah.
and why does he have to do what Najib does?
No lah, not it's not that. It's like he wants to get in that ranks of the few people who have broken 33 minutes.
Oh, you
right.
mean not many have broken 33 on the... I don't know, I guess.
Not many. Not many have broken
Okay,
33 period.
I see. Okay lah, so Jacob very close lah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he'll get there lah,
33:01.
he'll get there. He's still very young.
Yeah. So did Jacob, Romaine, any news? Did Jacob pass his tracks internship,
I
apprenticeship,
have
Internship.
not heard,
interview?
so
Okay,
I
we'll get
guess we gotta
Jacob.
find out.
We need to get someone from tracks
Internship
on the
is
pod.
crazy.
I hear that there's some developments in tracks about the coaching situation.
Uh, you mean besides John Lim crediting Jordan as his coach in his IG post?
Yeah, do you know that, Amir? There's a hard launch today.
Richie also.
About 30 minutes. Did Richie also hard launch?
Yeah, Richie also.
Oh,
I mean, I knew about it from before already.
Okay, so when did all this happen? Because when Richie was on the podcast with us, I think it was I asked him, Romaine was there, but I asked him, I was like, so would you call Shoaib your coach? And he was like, yes. And then I said, after that, I think he had a coach at SEA Games, and then he went to Shoaib
Yeah.
for this cycle. And then I asked him, so after this cycle, are you going back? Are you going to stay at Shoaib? He was non-committal. And then now he's announcing what Jordan is his new coach. There's two coaching changes in 6 months there. He's not Emma Radadakau or whatever her name is in tennis. The one who always changed coach.
Radakanu. No.
Raducanu.
I think the story is they were already involved with Jordan. Like Jordan was already involved in things. Like he's actually been advising and helping Shoaib as well, like in planning trainings. That's the story that I know. And so since then I think basically Shoaib's just been who's that? Richie and John have been training with tracks. But it's like Shoaib and Jordan have sort of worked a way to get them to train with tracks, but also have their own program line in that sense.
But when was
So
this? When was this since?
since the start of the year, I believe. Oh no, not maybe not since the start of the year. I heard about it when I was in Singapore that there were plans for it, but I can't remember when exactly it started.
Right.
But I do know that after Sean talked to Jordan about it, he decided to open up more slots to the Singaporeans, and then so Najib, John, and Richie are under
Oh,
Jordan
Najib as
now,
well.
and I can't remember who else. Yeah, correct.
But all this
Najib
was
as well.
this year, lah, right?
Yeah, correct.
And is it supposed to be on the down low or what? Like, it didn't look like they were very vocal about it until now.
I think it was supposed to be on the down low, but then like until recently lah. I mean that's why even when you asked on the podcast, they didn't really say it. You know how Singaporeans are lah. They like to hide this kind of nonsense. I'm like, there's no point hiding.
Is it
Yeah,
they wanted to hide or Jordan wanted to hide?
I don't. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's either or.
Okay.
They're a
I
bit,
heard some things
yeah.
that make me that I think now I'm putting two and two together. I think I know how it works lah. I think so. I think I know why it worked out the way it did rather. Um,
Ah,
but
stuff
I
you can
agree.
share or
I agree with you. I'm trying to find the words to share it without implicating anyone. But I think I agree with you that there was a bit of hesitation, which I don't get lah. Very childish. But sorry, I take that back. It's not childish if they had to do it because Jordan was in a position where he couldn't be seen to be doing all this stuff.
but why?
Yeah. Um, possibly because of his work situation. Possibly.
That makes
I mean,
sense.
that's my
Yeah, okay, then
suspicion.
that makes sense.
That's my suspicion, which has changed recently, which is why possibly now they can be a bit more. What about it? A bit more open about it. What's funny is that Shohib actually called me up before the tracks camp, and then he was like, "Oh, can I ask you for advice on altitude and how to structure the plan and everything?" So we had a call, and I was telling him like, "Okay, this and that. I think this is too hard. I think this one maybe you can push a bit more. I think maybe this week before the race, don't do this, don't do that." So yeah, so that plan seems to have been concocted with multiple lots of advice from external sources, which I don't think is a bad thing if you're a coach. I think it's good to
Yeah.
reach out and find advice. So I think Shoaib is doing quite a good job there. But it sounds like now the two that are directly under Jordan would be three lah. Najib, Richie, and John. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. There's another fourth Singaporean, but I can't remember who it's supposed to be.
Is Thiruban not seeking some advice from him? That's what I was under the impression as
Thiru?
well.
Where's Thiru? Maybe I can ask him. No, he's not here.
Yeah.
If he was here, I'll ask. No lah, I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
think so. I mean, Coach Kai is right there, so probably not.
You didn't reach out to Jordan and ask him for advice?
He's very cryptic with his advice, so I'm like, whatever lah.
Also, you have spoken to him,
Yeah, of course. I've met him a few times when he was
Oh,
in
how?
Australia as well. So
How?
how?
Yeah.
I met him first before I left for Singapore.
Yeah.
Before I left for Perth. He was in my last race when I was in Singapore. Then
Okay.
after that I met him again last year, I believe,
Yeah.
at the Australian champs in Perth.
Yeah.
And then like talk to him and everything.
I see. And what do you mean he's cryptic with his advice?
Like, how do I put it? Like he will give advice, then I'll ask him a bit more, and then like he'll just leave me on scene. Then I'm like, okay lah, whatever.
So, I can see what you're talking about. Honestly, I think this guy is a bit of an asshole. I started off meeting him in person, and I thought Jordan was quite cool. But then, the more I saw about how he's behaving online, he's a bit of an insecure loser lah. This guy. So he has
Ooh.
DM'd. Let me get it out for you. Okay, first, the first weird thing. Okay, the first weird interaction I had with him was that back then he was in a previous job, and then I was asking him about. I mentioned something. He's like, "Oh, if you need help with that, let me know, and then I'm more than happy to help you out with that." I said, "Okay, sure." Went back, sent him a message. Left me on scene. I followed up a few days later. Left me on scene. Okay, whatever lah. Did it myself anyway, because I'm not dumb. I know how to get things done. I was just like, okay, whatever lah. Maybe he's busy. Then I think he posted something cryptic that he was leaving his job or something. And I was like, oh, cool, man. Where you headed next? Left me on scene. And then the next time he interacted with me was when I ran the Guinness World Record in a suit. You know the day
Yeah.
before the race, I did a flat lay, right? Where, usually when you have a flat lay, it's singlet, shorts, your running shoes, and then your gels, lah, right? But my flat lay was the mother of all flat lays, lah. It was suit jacket, tie, white shirt, pants, running shoes, and like 6 gels because I had so many pockets. I could put 6 gels in my pockets, and then the
Yep.
clip to hold your tie to your shirt as well, and then the sunglasses, and then all that stuff, lah. And then I had already finished the race the next day. I broken the record already, and then the post was doing quite well on Facebook, lah. And then I was just scrolling through, like thanking people for their well wishes, everything. I saw this comment from Jordan Corrects Donnelly, and it's still on Facebook. And he's surely an April Fool's joke. That was his comment. So at the point of time, I didn't know whether I didn't think he was being sarcastic. I just thought he was like a bit dumb or something. Didn't realize that the race was already over. So I was like, I just replied with the photo of me at the end with the Guinness World Record like plug. And then I didn't think much of it. Just went about. I don't think he never replied to that. Went about the rest of my day. A few months later, I get a DM from Ben Koo, right?
Yeah.
And then Ben Koo had shown me something that Jordan had DM'd him over Instagram. So you know how Ben Koo is. Ben Koo enjoys, I don't know if he enjoys it, I think he does lah. He vlogs a lot. I think he enjoys vlogging. So I think there's this one race in Singapore where he did a reel about would not recommend anyone to start a race this way, and it was like him basically running off at the start and vlogging.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, you saw that, right? What did you think about it?
Yeah.
What did you think
So
about
it's
it?
funny lah. I mean, it wasn't anything serious. It was just a chill race.
Funny, right?
Yeah.
Fella messaged him. The fuck is this? Jordan DM Benku.
Wait. I can't see it.
Okay, it's a bit blur lah. But... Can you see now?
Oh lol. Yeah.
The fuck is this? And then Ben replies, "You're a runner, you won't get it." And then Jordan replies with a "Make running lame again" shirt. So, I mean, Ben was obviously annoyed enough to send it to me and get my opinion on it lah. And I was shocked because I'm like, what? Like when I met this guy, he was not. I wouldn't think he's some loser lah. When I met him, I thought he was chill and everything. I even joked that he sounds like Jamie Carragher, Scouse, right from Liverpool. I'm from Liverpool. I'm Scouse, right? So I actually really enjoyed his accent and everything. We got on, talked about running, talked about this and talked about that. Chill. Then you go back and then do this kind of shit. Yeah, sure did. Sorry. The other one is the one on Facebook lah. So it was this. I don't know if the camera is focusing, but basically it's like surely an April Fool's. There he is. Surely an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, I see it.
And that one is public. So I'm just like, and then you're a coach, right? You're supposed to be a mentor. I hate this word because I think a lot of people use it without knowing what it means. It's supposed to be a role model at least for your athletes. What are you doing? If Ben Koo wants to vlog, what the hell is it got to do with you? And then at one point of time last year, he was going around I think I could sense he was trying to get involved with more and more Singapore runners, and I think when his runners like Jasmine or Sean ran really well, he would be posting very loudly on Instagram stories about it. Number 1 in Singapore history or number 3 in Singapore history or whatever. So very loud about the athletes he was supporting and had a lot of comments to pass about the athletes that he was not necessarily coaching. So like I said, he's left me on scene multiple times, right? Even though we had a very friendly first conversation. After that, we go on to the Standard Chartered Singapore Marathon last year, where it was in the press that I was going to do the double up challenge. That's part of my agreement with Singapore Marathon. I'll do the double up challenge, and then it was in the Straits Times. I cannot remember what happened. I think I reposted an article showing that I was going to do the double up challenge, and then later that day or the next day, I get a message from, guess who? Jordan corrects Donnelly.
Jordan?
And
Yeah.
yeah, and then but by then by the time I opened it, the story had disappeared already. And the reply he gave to the story was, still doing SEA Games? Question mark. But he had replied to the story and I couldn't see the story anymore, and I had posted multiple stories, so I didn't know what he was talking about lah. So I said, what story is this? And then he replies with, doing the marathon and SEA Games, 1 week apart. First of all, it wasn't 1 week. First of all, it wasn't 1 week apart. It was 9.5 days, right? Those 2.5 days didn't matter. But then it was also like, I said, oh, that's weird. I can't see the story anymore. It must have been. I think it was the news article. Like, could it have been anything else that I posted that day? But that's why it's in my head. But I just entertained him. I said, oh, sorry, I can't see the story anymore. But to me, it's like, the hell is it got to do with you? Who is choosing to do what? You're not the Singapore coach. None of us answer to you. You kepo kia, right? He's not going to understand what that means. It means you busybody, right? What's it got to do with you? What has Ben vlogging got to do with you? What has people choosing to do what race got to do with you? Huh? And then, like, why are we answering to this guy? So I just thought he was a bit of an insecure loser, lah. Like, having to like pass all these kind of comments on social media to people that have nothing to do with you. And then, when I posted a reel on Instagram earlier this year explaining how a Singapore sports official tried to stop me from doing the double up challenge with the concern. I'm using concern in inverted commas because these people are never concerned about me. They're never concerned about me. And suddenly they're concerned that, we're concerned that it's too close to SEA Games. And I ignored them because I said, you have never been involved in my career. F off, If I have to choose between the two, I will choose my own races over your SEA Games because, I wasn't even sure whether I was going to SEA Games, right? So I spoke about that, about how like I faced all these things in the lead up and, to the double up challenge, and I still managed to do the double up challenge. And I mean, all respect due to everyone else, I still performed quite well at the SEA Games. And then Jordan comments, obviously, right? Well, he doesn't interact with any of my other posts. He commented on this, and you can still find it. It was like, LOL, I literally laughed out loud when I watched this. And I'm just like, dude.
Where is this?
Instagram.
Oh shit.
Instagram or Facebook? Instagram or Facebook? I screenshot it and sent it to Romaine, so Romaine should be able to see it.
Okay.
Romaine just woke up.
You sent me too much shit.
Aren't you happy that you have a brother that talks to you every day?
Yes, lovely. Appreciates.
I don't think she sounds very happy, Young.
I mean, I can find it if you want, lah. It's not overly hard to find, but I'm just concerned that we are eating into our guests' listening time.
You can find it later.
Yeah, but
okay, look,
anyway,
I think the point made is that he's a bit peculiar, lah. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, that's a polite way to say. And I'm sorry, man, but like, if I'm gonna be brutal, I could have replied, "Hey, Basket, you talk so much. You had all year to coach Sean Goh, who is a fantastic athlete, and he was good even before he met Jordan, I might add. You had all year to coach him. You got him to skip the marathon. You got him to pick for SEA Games, and then he still lost to me, yours truly, in the 10,000. So you're not exactly in a position to tell people what to do. I'm sorry. It's not Sean's fault that he lost to me. He lost to me because I ran well. You right?
Yeah.
It's not. So you're not in a position. You have already had everything in your arsenal to put up a good result, and you still, when I say you, I mean Jordan, you still couldn't beat me. So what is this shit that you're doing
Mm.
now? You know, being snarky, sore loser lah, insecure loser lah, 348,005 guy, right? In the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the national record is 327 lah. So effectively, you are 412,005 guy in Singapore lah, in relative terms. But he thinks he's so good that he's able to comment on all these things. I think it's really odd, and I think he has tried to reach out to a lot of the Singaporeans to have an influence over their running. And no, sure, I hope it works out for the Singaporean runners, but let's just say I think the ones that he wants to work with are the ones that are already good in the first place lah. So perhaps my limited psychoanalysis without a psychology degree is a runner who never quite lived up to what he wanted to be as a runner, so now lives vicariously through others, and that's fine. But if you want to help others, you don't have to also be a jackass to those that are not those that are competing against your runners or not necessarily in your stable. But never mind, you know, we need all kinds of characters in the sport. You know, I don't think I think that adds to a bit of excitement, and I think that you know, we'll see what happens from here. I think it will be a good. If anything, I think at the very least he would bring a new training philosophy into the scene that we might not otherwise have access to. So if he could do that without being a jackass, that's the ideal situation lah. But you know, take whatever lah. You know, you can't pick and choose.
Yeah. Exactly.
Use him for the good stuff. Try and throw away the bad stuff. And I mean, I think he wanted to try and work at Singapore Athletics. I told Sean, good fucking luck. He worked at Singapore Athletics. He will get fired. No way the people there will stand him. No way, zero chance.
Oh, what?
He wanted to work with us on the long distance.
Sean... shit.
This is during the time of the SEA Games lah. I think that he wanted to. He there was some talk that he wanted to talk to Bastian because he was in Singapore for a while. Speaking of speaking of Bastian.
This is a very good segue.
I was just on a call with Bastian yesterday, and it was quite funny because we talked about pipelines and all these things to develop Singapore athletics, and no, he did ask me. He said, "Do you know what Sean's coach does? How come he's so free to go and travel with all these people when he's working full time for Nike or whatever?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, people are noticing also lah, which is anyway. I think Bastian is great. I think that we do have some ways to go in developing long distance in Singapore, but you know, whatever Ben is doing moves the running forward. If you take away the vlogging from Ben, what is Ben?
I mean, that's what made him famous in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ben has made a name for himself, you know. Jordan might be a lot quicker over 1,005, not much quicker over marathon. He hasn't. In fact, anyone who's run a 348,005 and can't break 230 for the marathon is doing something wrong with the marathon training. That's my opinion.
Anyway. He ran 226.
Oh, he did? Okay, sorry, I take that back. Well,
yeah. He ran 226 off like 70 km mileage, I think. Like 70 km per week.
Yeah. I mean, it's still slower than the Singapore record by quite some distance. So you're not necessarily God's gift to Earth lah, as far as marathon training goes. Anyway, that was just how did I even come up? Oh yeah, we were talking about the hard launch.
Correct. We were talking about the hard
launch our way into a whole different atmosphere.
No, but to be fair, that's also what the podcast is for, right? To talk about these things that no one, like, I've heard whispers of it, but no one really talks about it.
Whispers of what?
Like whispers of these things, like these things with like Jordan and all these things. I've heard about it.
So you mean
but
other
like
people
nobody
had
wants to
also
put it
had
out
this
there.
experience? Wait, hang on, sorry. You mean other people also had these kind of weird experiences with him?
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the hard launching and all these things.
Sorry, the hard launching, yeah. Because talking about these kind of weird experiences with him, I mean, obviously, like myself, Ben actually went to Sarah.
No.
I remember her last name now, Sarah Devine, right? I thought that was her
Yes,
last
correct.
name, Devine. I didn't know it was
No.
Go. Po, sorry.
Rui Yong says hi, by the way, Sarah. I'm on podcast.
Hi, Sarah. We can only see her hand, but hi, Sarah.
Yeah, that's the point.
Show your face, leh.
He can't hear you.
Whatever.
But she said hi to the both of you.
Okay. No, so Ben also went to ask Sean. He obviously he showed the screenshot and then to Sean. Because I did mention to Ben, I was like, did you show this to Sean? And then he was like, yeah, Sean apologizes on behalf of his coach. So
I
Sean
think
knows
Sean
that
also knows he's a bit of a character lah.
yeah, lah, he knows a bit of a jackass lah. The fact that your athlete has apologized for you, how fucking paiseh, you know. Usually it's the coach have
Other way
to
around.
apologize on behalf of the athlete.
Yeah.
When is the athlete apologize on behalf of the coach? Shame on you, Jordan. You're a little kid. Grow the fuck up. Anyway. Such a
I'm
weird,
looking forward
such a
to find
weird,
out how all
such
this
a
plays over.
such an odd ball. But, you know, obviously very passionate about distance running. Let's not shut these characters out of the sport. Let's nurture and cultivate them into how they can help us. Speaking of nurturing and cultivating, do you think Keen has any hope? Do you think anyone can nurture and cultivate? He's obviously quite passionate about running. Someone actually just complained to me again, said that Keen wrote a snarky, in their view at least, snarky comment on Surah. Do you know that Surah was the top marathon finisher? We didn't even get to the marathon, sorry. Surah was the top marathon finisher among Singaporeans at Gold Coast. I didn't even know, man. 2:35 apparently.
I actually did not even know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Aaron didn't have a very good race, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I mean he ran 2:37 lah, which is not a PB for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was in PB shape. It's not
No, I think
too
he
far
said like
off
the
his
training
PB.
block went well. I think he said the training block went well and he was like a bit bummed out about it, but he said like he blew up or something like that. I don't know, I read his post. I remember it.
I saw the splits. He went through halfway in 118 and finished in 2:37 lah. So it doesn't look super bad in terms of the halfway and like 118
No, I think it was
and
from the start.
119.
Like from the start, I think like or like first 5 or 10K. Yeah. That was a bit bad for him.
Okay. So he felt bad from the start.
I think so.
Okay. So not that he blew up lah, the whole race was just slow lah.
Yeah.
He went through 118 and then 119 second half. I mean that's not really blowing up lah.
If I'm not mistaken, you have to read his
Okay.
post again, but yeah, I did remember him doing that.
Maybe he should also join Jordan.
No lah, he's under tracks now, so maybe like Shoaib is getting some advice from Jordan with regards to that. I don't know.
Well, maybe that's why I didn't run well.
I mean, to be fair, the others all ran well as well, so I don't know.
Yeah, but not
I
marathon.
can't- True. Maybe.
Up to half.
Up to half. Maybe.
So how did Shoaib? Oh yes, we mentioned Shoaib about 20 times on the podcast. He also ran Gold Coast. I just remembered. How did Coach Shoaib American do?
75, I think,
Well,
74.
Shohit ran a 74:21,
Yeah.
and that is about 1, 2, 3. 3 of his boys finished in front of him.
Yep.
Three
Yeah.
of his boys finished in front of him.
Because Joshua Yeo finished 73 or 72, I can't remember.
Yeah, so there's Fang Zhou, Joshua, and Evan in front of Shohit. So there's like a 1:13:09, there's a 1:13:28, and there's a 1:14:10, and then there's Shohit.
That's really good, man.
Yes.
I mean, that's really respectable showing by the tracks.
Yeah, I
tracks lot.
think they wrote somewhere that the Tracks boys came in like 5th to 9th for Singaporeans at a half marathon.
Out of all the
something like that.
Singaporean participants at the Gold Coast
Yeah.
Marathon, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Amir, let me ask you, if you ran the half
Yes.
marathon or the full marathon at Gold Coast and you were the first Singaporean across the line, would that make your caption? Was it like, would you mention first Singaporean at Gold Coast Marathon?
No, it doesn't matter to me.
See,
I have bigger
I'm
fish to
along the
fry.
same lines of thought as yourself because I don't understand what is the pride in putting it in your. I mean, as a footnote lah, as a caption. Like if I'm writing a news report and I'm a Singapore media, and then I was like, okay, lah, first Singaporean across the line. Gold Coast Marathon was won by, you know, Yuki Kawauchi or whatever, and then like the first Singaporean across the line was, you know, Romaine Soh, who ran this time, right? What I don't get is these people who go to Gold Coast, right, and then they run and they, oh, top Singaporean, or like, you know, fifth Singaporean. The race is not even in your own country.
But Rui Yong, you must understand, not everyone is me and you.
The race is not even in your own country. Then why not go to Slovakia or Russia or Brazil, further away, like go further away from Singapore, and then, oh, top Singaporean. Yay. 4-hour marathon.
No, but I get that. But I think the thing is, not everyone has the same goals as me and you, ma. Like we have bigger things to fry in the sense that like we have bigger things that we think of. But to other people it's like they wanna go there, they wanna, you know, like finish well and all these things. Like it's different lah. There are different levels to it.
You finish well lah, then be proud of your own performance lah. But what I'm saying is that how is this an accolade? Top Singaporean in an Australian race.
I don't know.
Well, as you mentioned at the beginning of this episode, the Gold Coast Marathon is essentially Singapore's mini marathon, half marathon.
Yeah, so I was going. Yes,
yeah.
thank you. I was going to loop it back to that. So I'm going to loop it back to that by saying, is it because we see it as basically the Singapore mini marathon or Singapore Marathon Part 2 in cool weather? See, yeah, that Romaine was one step ahead of me. That was how I was going to link it back. So if it is, if we see it as such, then it's okay lah, right?
Yeah lah, I think so lah. I think it's mainly it's also because there are a lot of athletes who go there that are like top tier, like top level athletes.
Okay, so
like in Singapore, like top level athletes.
So contextually, you think it makes sense?
Contextually, yeah, but I personally wouldn't really care because you asked about me, right? So I personally wouldn't really care.
Okay. So now, now this is how I link it back to this. Surah posted something on Instagram, and I cannot see what the post is about, but I don't think he mentioned that he was top Singaporean. Keen is here, who is Keen Ko, replies or comments on the post, top Singaporean, and then with the emoji, the emoji eyes, like, you know, like the side eye emoji lah. And then Surah actually, Surah, I mean, you can tell he's a very humble guy lah. He replies saying, they all went to the half, or all the good ones went to the half, or whatever, something like that. I will forward.
I didn't see that one.
I will forward it to you now in our chat group. But yeah, the person says, please keep the source. I mean, okay, anyway, no, whatever lah. You don't need to keep the source private lah. The source is like literally, the source is on the comments. But the person who sends it with the caption, how not to be annoyed with him. I mean, I think Keen needs to understand lah, when you are already like this, like in terms of people's likability of you, is not the highest objectively in the scene. Subjectively or objectively, I think he also should know like, if he doesn't, okay, wait. I think he knows that lots of people don't like him. Otherwise, he won't be posting the kind of like Instagram stories that he does. So he recognizes it. And then just congratulate people lah. If you want to go and interact, like why just say, well done, Surah, fantastic marathon, clap. Or was, you know, don't need to still go and be snarky and like first Singaporean across the line. By the way, do you know how Sean met Jordan? Keen introduced them.
Oh yeah, no, I know that one.
And then Jordan was coaching Keen for a while. Obviously, it didn't work out. Obviously, Jordan and Keen together. I wish I was a fly on the wall for that interaction. That would have been hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I asked you in the first place. First Singaporean across the line, is that something that's worth a mention or an accolade that you will put?
Nah, not for me.
I was first Singaporean in Belgium this weekend. Because Amir never run. Like, if Amir run, I second.
Nah.
Do you see Coach Kai's reply on the commentary on rather. Yeah. He said he was surprised that you thought 3K would be a fair matchup.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I think at my best I probably could have run like 840 or 845, but I'm far from my best, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can talk a bit about this race because I think it lends itself a bit of relevance to your European circuit. So I love this race. I went there. I mean, it's a heat wave or whatever, but too bad lah. Global warming, whatever, right? Like Europe is having a heat wave now. I go there. First of all, at the gate, my wife and I must separate. I go through the athletes lane to pick up my bib, and she has to go through the normal lane and pay 10 euros to enter.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 10 euros to watch the meet. I mean, you can see that there are not too many fans there, but
Yeah.
but I paid 10 euros to race. She paid 10 euros to come and enjoy the meet, and then still got buy pasta and everything lah. Cause she's not running right. She's hungry. You can buy pasta. Then when I pick up the bib, it's just one bib like that. One bib, 4 pins. Okay. I say, oh no, don't have the back. No hip tags. No. Very good. I pin. Any call room? No call room. I show up at the start line 2 minutes before it's time to race. I do a stride. I come back. They call us name by name. I waterfall start. I'm on the outside. That's why my Strava, you can see, is 2. If T. Ruben is watching this, it says 2.97 kilometers on my Strava because it's a waterfall start and my watch sets to lane 1. I'm not going to set lane 5 and then record a longer distance. I cannot set lane 5 and change it to lane 1. The technology is not so smart yet. So I set lane 1, and that's why it says 2.97 meters. Unless you are lane 1 starting inside and you run the entire 3K in lane 1, it's not going to be 3.00. Get over it. So, sorry, where was I? Yeah. So, and then 2 minutes before the start, we go there, do a strike, come back, bang, go off. In Singapore, front lah, back lah, and damn heavy some more. So many sponsor listings. The whole thing is so big. My bib in Belgium was like 60% of the size of our bibs in Singapore. Big bib in the front in Singapore. Big in the back in Singapore. Hip tags that don't fucking stick. So you have to go and use your pins to screw it into your pants, right? In Singapore. And then you have the official, Jaya, of Miss Jaya, right? Love her, seen her all the time, but she's a bit anal lah when it comes to the bib. Too high, too low, pin again. Before you even run, you shag already, from putting on four bibs, front, back, side, left, right. Why do you need a left, right? If Belgium, who is supposed to be technologically less advanced than Singapore as a nation, can do it with 1 bib, why Singapore need 4 bibs? Your 1,005, your 5K got photo finish, man? Even if it's photo finish, you can figure it out. You don't need a hip tag. Why you need a hip tag? Hip tag, left, right, and then back. Back for what? And then, okay, the only ones with a back bib was the pacemakers because they wear a bib on the back that says pace. So my race, the pacemaker was supposed to pace us 8:25 lah. That's what I went to pick up my bib. And I asked, what is the pace for this race? Then 8:25, 67.5 per lap. I'm like, okay. So I mean, I was in shape lah this race. I was in better shape objectively. I think I'm in better shape. You never know for sure, but I think I'm in better shape. I can do better workouts now than 3 weeks ago when I ran 8:32. But it was a lot cooler when I ran 8:32. I was in arm sleeves. This time it was hot, whatever, warm at least. And then the pacemaker was supposed to run 67.5. I was like, okay, it's warmer, but 67.5, 8:25, I think I can run. Or if not, I'll miss by a few seconds, that's fine. But the problem is that the pacemaker got a bit excited. So he went 66 first lap, 66 second lap. So I parked in 67 first lap, 66 second lap. And it's not the first time that a pacer has made me run 66 early in the race. Aswin, if you're listening to this, he made me do it last year at the 2.4K. It was not fun. So, yeah, I went through 800 and 213, faster than Romaine's 800 PB. I remember looking at the clock, but at that point of time, I didn't feel that it was difficult yet. In fact, I felt good because I raised adrenaline, I'm in shape, I feel good. So I look at the clock, wow, I thought to myself, I'm going to run 8:21, man, this is amazing. Guess what I came through halfway, 1,500 meters in, 1,500 meters, 1,005.
Then?
you're basically spot on. I ran 4:11.
Oh.
4:11, I was like, wow, I'm going to run 8:22. Then I came through mile or 1600, 4:29. I've literally run miles in 4:28, 4:30. I came through the mile in 4 laps, 4:29. And then 2K, I came through in 5:38. So that was already slowing down, 69. So obviously the
69.
laps I ran 67, 66, 68, 68, 69. So 5:38. By that point of time, I knew it was going to be a challenge to hold the 68s already. Anyway, the next lap became a 72. So I came through 2.4K at 6:50. And then I rallied to a 71, and then I closed in 34. But the last 1K was not fun. Actually, funnily enough, this actually was almost identical first 1K and second K to what Sean did in his 3K when he also ran a 2:46 first K, 2:51 second K, and then, I mean, he faded. We both faded, but he more like crashed. I faded. So I ran 2:57 last K, and I think he ran 3:04 or something like that. But anyway, yeah. And then, you know what's funny? Timothy Liao on the same day in Japan ran a 9:33K that he was disappointed with because he went out 2:45 or 2:46 first K. So Timothy Liao, you go and read his Instagram, dude.
What the heck?
So Timothy, in our latest 3,000 meters that we have all raced, Timothy Liao, Sean Go, and myself have all gone our first K in 2:46 for in different countries.
That's crazy.
with
That's crazy.
a similar trend of outcome
Varying
that it
levels
was
of
too
success.
fast, but differing degrees of crash and burn. So Timothy's first K 2:46, finishing time 9:30. We start with me. I ran 2:46 first K, finishing time 8:35. Sean ran 2:46 first K, finishing time 8:42, I think, of 8:43, whatever. Timothy Liao first K 2:46, finishing time 9:30.
That's crazy.
I want to know what his lowest K. I want to know what. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be laughing at the performance. I'm just laughing at the hilarity that we all did the same mistake. But I want to know what Timothy Liao's last K was in that race. I felt I was struggling. I felt I was struggling when I ran my 2:57 final K. I mean, initially I was a bit pissed when I finished the. No, I wouldn't say I was pissed. I was annoyed because I remember thinking to myself, why the F did the why did that feel so hard in the last K? And then when I watched the video, I figured out why as the pacemaker went through 800 and 212, and we all turned off our brains and followed him. So actually in my race, only 2 guys hit 25. The first guy kicked on. He was obviously in much better shape than us. He ran 8:17 or 8:18. 8:19, sorry. So maybe because of him, maybe he was like pushing the pacer to go faster. It only worked out for him The second guy ran 8:25, third guy ran 8:28. I was actually in 4th place for the entire final K, and then I went from 4th to 9th in the last 300 meters. So, but we all ran around the same time It was like 8:31 to 8:35. Yeah. But I was like, if you're running a 34-second last 200 meters in Europe, you're probably going to get outkicked by more than a few guys because they are closing in 31. Yeah, so I thought it was just funny that we all did the same thing going out in 2:46. I mean, I went out 2:46 because my pacer went out quick. He went out a second and a half quicker per lap than you want him to, which is, you don't really feel it when you're that fresh, but it hits you later. And I think that if you're going to race a 3K or 5K, if you're a second fast in the first half for any lap, you pay back 2 seconds per lap at the end. That's the general formula that I have in my head. So don't go out too hard. And if you do, you need to adjust right away. Instead, we went hard 2 laps in a row. Wow, I tell you, dead. So only 3 guys broke 8:30. The rest of us ran 8:31, 8:31, 8:33, 8:34, 8:34, 8:35. The next guy behind me 8:37, and there were some guys 9:30. I don't know why they were in that race, or maybe they also had a bad day and did a Timothy Liao.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Timothy Liao. I'm sorry, but they Timothy Liao did.
That's hilarious.
yeah, so unfortunately that was a sad end to Timothy Liao's track season, but I think he's looking forward to he's going on exchange actually. He's going to go to the USA. Is it
No?
Berkeley? I don't know. He's going on exchange.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Okay.
Timothy Liao is going to have a good time in the US, I think. And I hope rather. And then yeah, so don't start your first K in 246. You know, three of the best in Singapore have tried, and we have all failed to achieve the ideal outcome. No more 246s. You shouldn't be starting at 246. 250. Come on, 250 and a negative split. I think that's much better. 250 or slower and negative split. I think 3 times is enough. Thank you, Timothy Liao, for being the brave third soul to try. I would not have expected that. I mean, what's his 1005
That's
PB?
crazy.
What's his 1005 PB?
Wow. I don't know, sir. 412 maybe? I can't remember.
I mean,
Genuinely,
that's
I can't remember.
1005 pace, dude. That's
Yeah.
faster than his 1005 pace.
That's
For
faster than
3000.
1005 pace.
For
Yeah,
the first
that'll
K,
be
3000. With 5 laps to
No, but
go.
that explains why he bonked so hard.
Yeah,
You think?
no shit, Einstein.
Yeah. Yeah. 246 is crazy.
I don't know,
Definitely.
man. Oh man, we went from flaming online behavior from Jordan to laughing at Team Leo going out in 246. We're a trio. It's quite brutal this podcast. All right,
But all
hour
love the team.
50.
All love the team.
Yeah, we all no. I think that's quite universal. We all love him. And Timothy Liao is a defending fourth placer at the Singapore International Marathon half marathon. So
Mm.
I wonder if he'll be back to try and defend his, or try and strike for the podium, or try to run the marathon instead. I guess he has to qualify unless he gets a wild card. But yeah, he needs to figure that out. Tim actually told me he wants to try and run 226 in his debut marathon, and I was trying to convince him that 230 or slower is probably a more realistic option. Otherwise, we're gonna end up with a 3000 meter 930 part 2 in terms of execution.
Except for the whole marathon. Oh, that's great. That's brutal.
Yeah,
That's
dude, like
genuinely
3K you
brutal.
can crawl to the end. Marathon, you got an ambulance to the end, dude.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
All right, well, I think let's wrap off. Amir, so you were dealing with an injury you mentioned earlier. So what are you in Belgium doing? Is it just a training camp?
I mean,
And
thankfully, I've had
yeah,
16 weeks of like healthy training. Aside from like
nice.
a cold that I caught recently, like
Yeah.
a few months ago. But okay now. So I'm
Okay.
here for like a short training camp. And also to race two 1500s.
Oh, you have to
One
you're
this
gonna race as
Saturday.
well. Nice. This
Yeah,
Saturday.
I'm just gonna race two 1500s. Yeah, one this
Okay.
Saturday and one next Saturday. Yeah,
Any race plans?
not really.
Execution wise, what we're looking for?
Execution wise, just I think anything in the like low fours, like sub 4 5 maybe would be good. Just because like I'm
Okay.
coming off base phase, like I'm not really sharpening anything
So
much.
in your case,
So
246 first K is not a bad idea lah.
it would be ideal lah, actually.
Okay. You should come to
It
my
would be
race.
ideal lah.
This people decided to go bonkers on us.
It would be ideal. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean I'm
you
just
should
testing
come.
out because yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about you should come to my race. I was actually on the phone with Bastin yesterday talking about developing pipelines for long distance running in Singapore, and he was like, "Oh, how long are you in Belgium for? Are you gonna meet Amir and T. Ruben? I hear they're in Belgium as well. Belgium is not a big country." I'm like, "Yeah, they were supposed to come to my race, and they couldn't because
Yeah.
their barbecue ran late." Then Bastin was like, "Oh, you mean that the barbecue is more important than coming to see you?" I said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna ask Amir that on the podcast."
No, we just ran late because like we had to run out to get stuff.
Yeah
So
lah, so the
yeah,
barbecue more important lah.
that's my fault lah. That's my fault. That's
Yeah
my fault.
lah,
I was cooking. I took too long.
so the barbecue more important lah. Makan very
Sorry.
important. What did I
Yeah,
tell
of course, of
you
course, of course.
very early on in your episode? You know who
What's
told me
eating
this?
now?
Coach. Which coach was it Coach Hosni? I think it was Coach Hosni. Whoever was my
Coach chose me.
whoever was my coach when I was, I don't know, maybe it wasn't Hosni. Coach Viramani. Coach Viramani. Yeah, Viramani. Because Viramani
Oh,
was,
Coach Hosni.
and Viramani is a very senior, respected official and coach, right, in the Singapore scene. So when I was in Army, they were like, before Singapore Open, I was going to represent SAFSA, I think, at the Singapore Open. But I mean, the support that we get is you get to book out and train at Yio Chu Kang Stadium twice a week for the maybe 2 months leading into Singapore Open, something like that. That's what I remember.
Oh.
I mean, I love Coach Viramani, and he was chill. Like, he just let me do my own sessions there. Like, I didn't have to, like, he wasn't setting my program or whatever. I just report for training there. He knows that I'm there. Then we report that, make sure that people are not malingering, right? If you're out of camp, then you're there. You're not. I don't know, jerking off somewhere. So we were there, and then did a session, and then I cannot remember what we were talking about, but ended up talking about recovery or injuries. I think it was something related to an injury that I wasn't even injured, so I don't know what we were talking about. But it was definitely around like health and injuries, because what Viramani said, and I repeated to Romaine, and we remember till this day, is that he looked at me and said, "Makan is very important," which wouldn't be so funny, but for the fact that Coach Viramani is not the skinniest man in the world, then I'm
That's
like,
actually so
really?
true.
I mean, at least he lives his advice, right? he walks the talk, or he eats the talk.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Viramani was a fantastic 800 guy back in the day, but you know how it is,
I mean, he was
athletes, if you retire from high performance training and then your diet doesn't slow down and you keep feeding yourself at the same rate, especially certain types of food that you get away with as runners, like high carb, high carbohydrate rich food, you're gonna put on weight, lah.
Yeah.
So I agree, makan is important, lah.
Yeah.
So Amir, makan is very important. You should understand me because you also Malay, right? Makan is a Malay word.
That's true.
And he
But
reminded me of
wait,
this saying because I was telling him that Kai was, for a period of time, Kai was asking me, "Are you eating enough or not?" And at one of the meets that we traveled to without him, every meal that I had, I sent a picture to him. Just to show him that I was eating. Not just eating, right? He knows that I eat. He was just concerned whether I was eating enough. Because
I mean, that's great. I really hope that listeners listening to this story, right? No, you can listen to people nag at you all day. Oh, nutrition very important. Must eat. No, must eat healthy. Da da da. All this 1 year in, 1 year out, lah. No one listen on, lah. But I tell you this story now. When Coach Viramani looked at me dead in the eye and told me, "Makan is very important." With all due respect, his beer belly staring at me, and maybe not beer lah, prata belly staring me in the face at the same time. I didn't know where to look at the belly or him dead in the eye. I remember that to this day. Maybe that's why I run until I'm 35, because I take my nutrition very seriously, right? So if you're listening to this story, hopefully this helps you remember that athletes must eat. Yes, nutrition is important, eat the right stuff, but makan is very important. And if it's making you laugh now, hopefully you remember for the rest of your career. Thank you, Coach Viramani. You're the best.
That's true. That is true. I mean, that was exactly how I got injured as well, because I wasn't eating properly.
That's straight away. Makan is very important.
Yeah, not wrong.
Okay. All right, let's try and wrap up before 2 hours. Romaine, any quick fire for Amir, apart from the fact that he's doing 2005 races and trying to run low fours, 246 first K? Let's just make it a thing, okay? 246 first K. In this case, it's a good thing. Next race that Sean tries to run a 5K. Come on, Sean, 246 first K.
Wow.
Oh, that's en route to 1410. That's crazy.
I think before he attempts another
when I came to 2K, 538, right? I was fresh enough to kick still. And even if I didn't kick, even if I just run a 68, I would have run a 2.4 km PB of 646. Okay? I could have run 646 that day, but because I had 1K to go, I was like, fuck this, dude. I don't even, I could feel it slip already, like, in terms of, like, you know, the pace. So I'm like, you better, like, you know, draw out your energy over 2.5 laps. And I think I did it quite sensibly. Like, you know, like, I didn't go and, like, you know, search and die. I mean, I think that's what Sean tried to do. Sean actually came through 2.4K faster than me. I think he came through 2.4K in 6:48 in his 3K. But that's because he surged on the 6th lap and then died for the last 600. So 6:48 at 2.4, I was 6:50. But then I finished 8:35, he finished 8:42. So
you must have died a lot harder than that last 400.
I mean, let's do the math. 6:48 and then 8:42. So 2 minutes will be 8:48. 150,
154, 156.
76 second pace for the last 600.
Yeah.
That's slower than
That's
the 10K
crazy.
pace he ran this weekend.
Yeah.
That's
Please.
no, that's slower than my half marathon national record pace. And you know what? It probably wasn't like an even 76 or even it wasn't an even 154. You know, it was probably like dying every 100 meters. I
But
don't know why
probably
I'm
jogging to the line lah, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think maybe I'm an evil person, but the races I enjoy the most. I mean, I enjoy it when my friends run well, but I enjoy it even more when there's a video of them blowing up spectacularly. You know what's my favorite race of all time is Zubin, the one that Zubin raced in Australia, and he went out like a bat out of hell. I messaged him, wow, you bloody legend, dude. Like, you got balls, man. You run like that.
Oh my god.
What did he do? He went through the first lap
in
in like
159, 158. Oh, first lap. First lap, I can't remember, sir.
the
That's quite
Australian,
horrendous.
and then what made it even funnier was that the Australian track commentator was losing his shit calling the race. He was going crazy for Zubin. Hey, Zubin had like a 50-meter lead, you know, at 600 meters or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something crazy.
I mean, that's my favorite race of all time, lah. I know it's a bit off, off the mainstream path or whatever. These are the races I really enjoy. Partly because I don't think I have the guts to go and do that.
That's actually crazy.
I've lived enough
but
life
that
to
race
know
was
that
insane.
running like that is painful.
Yeah.
Hey, he never replied me, no, Basket Zubin, right? Wow, you bloody legend, dude.
Who? Zubin?
Zubin, yeah. Oh, actually, he replied. He replied something like the wind's so strong, like a tornado or something. I'm like, yeah lah, the tornado is started by you lah, running so fast in the first lap.
That's crazy. No, I remember
man,
that
we gotta
week,
find that
week.
race and put it in the show notes below.
It
Anyway,
was supposed to be, there was like I don't know, there was like a storm or something. So the winds were actually damn strong.
so isn't it
Like,
even less
unironically.
advisable to go out like that if the winds are damn strong?
Exactly. Exactly.
You went out like that, you blame
No,
the
that's
wind.
why I had an acquaintance in that same race, and then like afterwards, like I was talking to him, and he was like, "Dude, who was that guy that just went out like a rocket? Like everyone else knew not to do it, but he." And I'm just like, "Oh, bro, don't get me
Wait,
started, bro."
say again. Who's the guy that went out like a rocket and then?
Yeah, no, and then like, cause like everyone else knew not to do it because like everyone
Yeah.
else was like native to the area, ma.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
was like, "Bro, don't get me started."
How was Zubin after the race? Was he upset?
No lah, like he knew he was like just gone lah.
No, but okay. After the race, got emotions on ma. So what was his emotions like? Or was he dying for so long that he had time to process the emotions?
I think he had time to process. I don't know. I didn't ask him directly.
You were there. You never asked him already.
No, I wasn't there. Like,
Oh, you were not
in
there.
the race. No,
You're not there.
This one, like, I
and
heard
your
from my
friends
friend.
still ask you, "Hey, who's the guy?" Ah?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I mean that's the closest I've come to doing. Actually, not true. There's one race in Japan where I fought for position. I was like in maybe 1450 kind of shape. I ended up running a 66 first lap because they put like 30 or 40 guys in one 5K race at Nitaida University, the year 2018 November. Walao, after that 66-second first lap, I was in shit land, man. After that, I ended up didn't even break 15:10. It was so terrible.
Damn.
Yeah, don't start too
Nice.
fast. End of the day. Oh well.
Oh, I found Zubin's race. It's called the Box Hill Twilight 2025.
Box Hill Twilight 2025. Oh, it was last year only.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was last race before the SEA Games.
That's a confidence booster.
Which split did you
Was it
lead again?
November or was it October?
End October.
No.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
there's a
400 split.
Oh my god. Hold on, please.
What was the 400 split?
The 400 split. Hold on, please.
Hey, Tiru. What was the 400 split of Zubin burning up?
53 mid.
53. 53, 54, Tiru said.
And
Yeah,
what did
53
what did Tiru split when he ran the national record?
What did you split when you ran national record? Yeah. 52.9.
Okay, so Zubin actually went out slower than Tiru, but into a tornado
Yeah.
lah. But into the
Yeah.
tornado lah. But I mean, I think the split time. Yeah, I mean, this is a classic example of times not telling the full story lah. Like anyone who knows track will know that 53 into a tornado is not the same as 52 on ideal conditions. And what's
Correct.
funnier is if you watch the race, Zubin has a 40-meter lead one lap in, and he ends up losing by more than 40 meters lah.
Yeah.
Means they made up more than 100 meters on him in the second lap.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not-
Romaine, it's not working,
It's
Romaine,
not
because you are blurring.
Hold on,
You
please,
have
hold
blurred
on.
your background. You
Yeah.
have blurred your background. Okay. Anyway, guys, Romaine is trying to show you the race on camera. So if you're on Spotify, do what I usually tell you to do and turn on your screen. If Romaine you can't figure out, that's fine. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll link it.
Yeah, we'll link it. All right. Okay, Amir. Let's just round up. Belgium trip. You're running 1,500 meters 2 weekends in a row. What is Tiru doing?
He's doing 800 2 weekends in a row. So same
This
as
weekend
me.
and
Same
next.
meets as me.
Okay. What's the name of the meet?
Correct.
What's the name of the meet?
Good question. One moment. We're doing the More Guldensporen meeting. That's in Kortrijk in Belgium. Then we're doing Night of Athletics in Houston, Florida, which is where we're located now.
Oh, that one is a fantastic meet. That Night
Oh,
of
really?
Athletics in Houston Zone. That's where Suguru Osako set the 5,000 meter national record for Japan that stood for a long time. Actually, that's where
Oh,
Eric
nice. I
Jenkins.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's where Eric Jenkins set his 5,000 meter PB. I think he was in front of Osako by like one position or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, fresh out of college. Unfortunately for him, I don't think he ever ran faster than that. Yeah, 13:07. Osaka was 13:08. And then that was the Japanese record for quite a long time. Is the Japanese record still 13:08? I think it's been broken.
Might have
Japanese
been.
record. Japanese 5,000 meter NR.
No, it still is.
Oh wow, yeah, Houston Zoda. Yeah, there you go. Okay, sorry, Osako, if you're listening to this, your 5,000 meter national record still stands. Very solid.
Nice.
So
Actually, I got a question for you.
Yes.
So what do you discuss with SA with regards to like the long distance pipeline?
Walao, this
Or
one going to be
distance
4
pipeline?
episode. Like you ask me now at the end of 2 hours. Okay.
Wrap it up like TLDR.
I will sum it up.
Yeah.
What SA asked, okay, not what SA asked me. Since the SEA Games, I've been making a bit more noise than usual about our lack of distance program lah, in terms of like, you know, I've been in this sport 22 years. I've never seen a hit distance coach or distance program, and that by itself, it's not that it's fine lah, but it's whatever. It's overlookable. But now, you know, there's a relay program, there's a jumps program, there's a throws coach. Akit is employed by SA to work in the SA office. I mean, official title is throws
Akid
coach
left already
lah.
actually.
Okay, well, this is what the podcast is for lah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he left.
so we no longer have a throws coach lah, I guess. Where's Akit going?
He has joined SSDC to help out, and also he is now just like coaching regularly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all power to Arcade is obviously very passionate. He's been an athlete and a coach, and I hope that he continues to provide a platform for throwers to be coached by, on, yeah, platform to be coached on by him. But when there's a reday program and there's a unofficial elite sprints program headed by Luis Cunha, and like I guess there are only a grand total of 3 athletes on it at the moment, but there used to be more. And then there's what is that? I said jumps sprints. There
Jumps,
used
yeah.
to be a throws coach and a throws program, and distance never, never. There's never been any coordination on this front, and I think things really came to a head, because I've also worked very closely with Betterment Sports this year. They were, I mean, the new owners of the marathon are very smart. They engaged me to help them. Engaging me to help you with your marathon is good on 2 fronts. Number one is that you neutralize one of your main critics if you screw up, right? Because uh, as Iron Man may have known in the past, nothing gets past me lah. And not that nothing gets past me, but I also am not afraid to be like, hey, this is not right. Like you probably shouldn't do things like that. National championships entrants should not have to pay to go and compete. Things like that. You're not in the Singapore Marathon chat group, like. I actually like I'm a bit of a unofficial athletes union leader inside that group, lah. I'm like, no, this is not fair. Da, da, da. And then people will start giving likes and responses, right? And stuff like that, right? The only other guy that would really speak up beyond me is like Evan, lah. But it's usually like he will echo what I say. And Evan Chi is great. Evan Chi also older, has a job. He's too old for this shit, lah. So he just like backs me up when I need backup. But everyone only like reacts and pushes for something, or when I say, okay, this is not right, who else agrees? And then they all push. So I think if you are a race organizer, you want to neutralize the union leader first, lah. So they're very smart, they neutralize me. But I think it's that was only half joking, lah. But more importantly, I think they wanted runners on the board, runners on the team that understand what it takes to run a marathon and make this marathon the best in the region and the best in the world. Hopefully, no, they will never be the best in the world, but like, world class one day. And the way it was going last 10 years, I don't think that was necessarily the correct direction. But we're doing things to improve that now. And because I work closer with Betterment Sports and the Singapore International Marathon, in some ways, like I just got appointed the Southeast Asian athlete manager, so I'm going to be inviting athletes from Southeast Asia to come in. We are looking for like 8 elite men, 8 elite women across Southeast Asia to essentially make this a marathon just as good as the SEA Games marathon, if not better. Definitely better prize money, So we want this to be a thing. Now, because of this, we have to work with SAA, and I can tell you, right now, Singapore Athletics, as hardworking as these people might be, no one there understands distance running. They don't. You work there, you know. There were some things that really pissed me off, and I already unloaded in that meeting, because I was like, hey, it's not right to come to a meeting with athletes and announce that the trial is going to be changed. At first, they announced top 3, we shortlisted for SEA Games, then it became top 5, caused a lot of confusion. And I said, okay, I am here as an athlete, but I'm also part of Betterment Sports, and our agreement was top 3. A trial is, I mean, if you want to be definitive, it should be top 2, but top 3 is like, 2 and 1 reserve lah. Open to top 5, then what? Then why so open to top 10 if you don't? Then the reasoning giving, we don't want to close the door to potential entrants. Then why not top 10? Why not don't have a trial? Then you don't close the door ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Then what's the point of a trial, right? So things like not understanding how a trial works, right? It's very basic lah. And maybe if you don't follow distance running, you don't get it, sure. But then you better engage someone to do it. I've used this analogy before. If you, me, and Romaine are organizing a ballet competition now, we don't understand ballet, we better engage someone who understands ballet to at least advise us, if not make a lot of the key decisions. Why the fuck would you not? And in fact, during the meeting, apparently,
Wholeheartedly agree.
I was told that Marinda really likes your episode 1 of the Inside Track podcast. So well done, Amir.
I've
she
heard
list-
that a lot actually. Apparently now she wants to ask SA to like work with me on certain things. So I'm just waiting for their call lah, which I've been
with
waiting
you, right?
for
Yeah,
like I
no,
don't know how many
that was what
months
was
lah.
mentioned as well. That was what was mentioned as well. Like apparently she liked the pod, and even though they didn't engage you on a contract basis or a monthly basis or full-time basis, whatever, and then you left, I think she's thinking about it now. At least that was what the impression I'm being given. But you know how federations, and not just federations, like you know how corporate, not the SA is corporate, but like you know how corporate culture is like sometimes in politics, and
Yeah.
things take a bit of time to move lah. I mean, the VP of Training and Selection is Arthur Lin, who supposedly has run distance before, but the guy is more invisible than the invisible man. I don't know whether he's actually doing anything. I tell you one good thing Arthur Lin has done. He introduced Shango to me at the send-off
Really?
for
When was that?
2023 SEA Games. Yeah, I mean, I was going to meet Shango anyway, actually, so I'm not sure how much impact he actually had, but Arthur basically like kind of brought Shango in front of me, and then he was like, hey, this one, mentor him. This one is first SEA Games, distance runner also. I said, no problem, I take care. And look at look at how far Sean has gone since 2023 SEA Games, right? So,
Yep.
and I'm very happy to mentor Sean. But you know, talking about this, I've not seen Arthur do very much. I don't think Arthur understands very much. I can see who is reading messages in what group. I don't think Arthur reads many of the messages that are being exchanged. If he reads, he doesn't really reply to them. So then what's the point of having a VP training and selection if the guy is going to be absent or invisible? A VP training and selection is a relatively important role, you know. But if you look at it
Yeah,
right
of
now,
course.
I think that Marinda is the one doing VP training and selection when she's VP finance lah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the impression I get.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm wrong for saying this on a podcast because anyone can make this observation. That's my observation. If I'm wrong, let me know lah. But I don't think the Arthur is doing very much. So, yeah, I've been banging on this drum. You guys need a long distance consultant. You guys need a distance consultant. You guys need someone. And if you cannot find someone, I'm happy to do and help you until you find someone. Not as if I got nothing to do, you know. I'm relatively busy, and I would much rather work on projects that I own personally rather than going to worry about other people's shit. But this is something like I feel that I think we should get the ball rolling on this, and I'm willing to get it started until you can find someone that can kind of run the show lah. But then, so I think Marinda considered it because I didn't hear back from her for a while, but then later I heard through the grapevine that SAO was concerned, I think I mentioned this on your podcast, that I could be a source of friction, appointing me could be frictionless with the SNOC because, past history and everything. But to me, SNOC, it's not SNOC's job to govern and develop long distance running in Singapore. It's SAA's job. So you shouldn't really care what they think. You should appoint the best man for the job. Maybe or appoint a man for the job. Maybe I'm naive that, I think that politics shouldn't matter for this, but what are your options here? A, if your options are limited to A, appointing Soh Rui Yong to help you develop something, and B, continuing to do nothing and letting it and continuing to die or praying that Soh Rui Yong will emerge and last for 20 years, or Sean Goh will emerge magically by luck and then have the talent to do it by luck, and then find Soh Rui Yong Strava to follow by luck, and then introduce him to Jordan of all people because he happens to be in Singapore by luck, and then Leon Lai from Betterment Sports picks him up because he notices he's got potential and a good attitude by luck. Then you're doing nothing, what? Then all you're doing is relying on a chain of fortunate events to happen. And by the way, Sean is not even in medal contention shape yet. But if you want to pipeline him or people like him into a medal contention shape, then you need a program lah. What the hell is this? And I'm not saying that I can solve every problem, right? But at the very least, I have a network of distance running professionals around the world. Athlete, coach, event organizer. Right now, if let's say you want to go to Japan right now, or you want to go to Valencia Marathon now, or you want to go to the US now and do a marathon or a track race or whatever, between going to Soh Rui Yong and going to yeah, let's not quite Soh Rui Yong, Soh Rui Yong or Run So Fast Academy and going to Singapore Athletics to ask for help to get into those races, who would you go to?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I would probably just go to you lah, because I don't know anyone in SA who knows.
Exactly, and I know because I've tried. Hey, can I get into this race? I mean, to be fair, I think they got me into the Nagase Cup last year, but that was a relatively community. That was a community race, lah, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was my warm up for the Nitai Dai University Time Trial 10K or Nitai Dai Challenge Games 10K. That one they wouldn't have got me in because I've asked Shah before. I said, "Hey, I want to get into Nitai Dai meet. Can you help me?" Or let's check. And I don't know what he ended up doing, but eventually he couldn't help lah. So I ended up doing it myself lah. You know who I call? I call Tempo Japan.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. But you know, it doesn't take a lot to network lah. That's what I'm saying, right? Like you have to put in the effort to talk, call, have someone you need someone to build a network of race directors, coaches, training groups, athletes all around the world so that if Amir or Go comes to the association or is under the association support system and they want to go and train in altitude sport or they want to go somewhere or they want to go and race here or do that, association can say, give us 2 days, let us send an email or two, or let us call the person. We'll let you know whether it's possible. Oh, can I put this athlete with your training group? No? Okay, find somewhere else. Can I put this athlete in your training group? 1 month. Any fee involved? You do it for favor? Great. The fee involved, we discuss. Okay, Amir, congratulations. This university in Japan can take you for 1 month. Like what? To be fair, I think that's maybe what Waseda has done. SA has done with Waseda. But we need more than one Waseda, lah. You know, dude, we need. You know, if you want to go to Flagstaff, who can you train with? I can set you up with a group there. I can. I would recommend Jack Prodocki, Julia Paternine's coach, and his training group. It's great, right? Something can be worked out. Not just him. There are so many coaches in Flagstaff. I'm just saying him because he came to mind. You want to come to London and train? There are multiple clubs here and their coaches that we can link up with. I say you don't know what. Now there's nothing. So these are the things you need to do lah. Otherwise, walao, every time SEA Games come around, then sit around, hope and pray. Oh, no medals, or go home. Kena scolded by Mark Che. Athletics never come to the party, right? Not sian meh. After a while, like, don't you want to do something? Then when someone like me, maybe I'm stupid lah. Jiak ba bo sai bang, you know, this meaning you eat full already, no shit to shit out, so you're damn free. And then you go to the association like me and say, hey, I want to help. Why is there nothing being done? Let me help you. Let me do your job for you. No lah, this shouldn't be my job lah. So anyway, I told them all these things. I said I'm willing to help, and let's see if you go and propose to the board, eventually the board decides. So Bastian has to go and make a case to Marinda and Lian why Soh Rui Yong should be entrusted with a project to build Singapore's distance running pipeline. Actually, one of the concerns he said was, maybe you can shed a bit of light on this. He said, I don't think Bastian is wrong. He's not wrong to bring it up. But he said, the issue now is that the distance running fraternity in Singapore is very campy, like very fragmented, in terms of there's this camp, that camp, that camp. So like, who do we appoint to be in charge of all the tribes, kind of thing? He said, if I appoint you, for example, Keen will be unhappy. In my head, I'm like, so like, Keen's never gonna win. First of all, Keen is never gonna win you a SEA Games medal. Why you care about him? If that's your end goal lah. He can be part of a training group, but you're not focusing on people like him.
But I mean, you're never gonna make everyone happy lah, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and then I spoke about.
It's like your point.
I spoke about OCTC as well. I said rather than just giving out by time, here is how you make the Singapore Open matter. Bastian really liked that idea. Like, give out OCTC for first, second, third. Bastian really liked that idea. And apparently Marinda liked it as well. So again, that came out. That literally came out on our podcast, your podcast,
Yep. I actually talked to Shah about it as well. When I dropped by on the way to Belgium, I dropped by SA and I actually talked to him about it as well. And he's like, not a bad idea. They'll discuss with the others and see how lah. So, don't know lah.
And I know that in this world, whenever there's a good idea, whenever there's a new idea, people are very fast to shut it down, say why it cannot be done.
Yeah.
But the moment the idea is passed and it seemed to be successful, right? Everyone wants to claim credit for the idea,
Yep.
especially the boss, So for example, this Singapore National Championships become SEA Games trial, right? Malaysia
Yeah.
also went to adopt it, right? Now they follow us, right? They
Yeah,
also want a trial, right? Suddenly, everyone claim credit. Oh, it was SA's idea. Betterment Sports is saying it's their idea. So whose idea? I mean, I know the answer, I'm sitting here, I know the answer, I'm not gonna say who is right, who is wrong for claiming credit, but I can say that the idea came from one particular side, and I know who the idea came from. I'm going to stop short of saying that it came from me. I'm going to say it came from our team. That's the Betterment Sports team. I know that there was a lot of opposition from Singapore Athletics initially, because I don't blame them. Resistant to change, or what if? These are the reasons are still fresh in my head. What if our best guys cannot do the trial, or because they're overseas? Yeah lah. But when you talk to your boss, you cannot say yeah, too bad lah. So you have to tell them.
No, but that's the reality of sports, what?
Yeah. So then, what if our runners are overseas? They cannot make it. Then more so you must announce in advance that this is the trial. It's important to have a trial for these reasons. Select the best team possible. Similar conditions. Everyone same conditions and similar conditions SEA Games, right? Easy. What if our best guys don't run well on the day itself? Well, same thing. First of all, if you don't run well in the trial, you're not the best.
That's such a non-athlete thing to say.
Well, exactly. That's exactly why I'm saying this essay doesn't have any distance running knowledge.
Oh my goodness.
I get it, imagine the SEA Games at half marathon, right? And then imagine last year the trial was the selection trial, and then Nicole and Jasmine win the trial, the half marathon trial, and Vanessa third, so misses out. But then Vanessa goes on and breaks the national record, which is exactly what happened this year. Then how do you pick the team? Sorry, if you have a trial, you stop at the trial now. Just because you ran fast 7 months later means, it doesn't mean fuck all, but it just means that sure, you might be able to perform with a male pacer and good weather, but in a head-to-head competition, you lost and SEA Games is going to be head-to-head. Is it the perfect way to select a team? No, because as you can see now, Jasmine maybe is not in the best of shape. And Nicole is maybe more of a high roxer. Biceps are too big to run half marathon now. I don't know. But so maybe Vanessa is the best person to go now. But you need to have a system.
Yeah.
A system that is objective and you can defend. And you can defend a system that is a trial because it's fair and square. No one is going to be fit 365 days a year, whatever, right? Jasmine and Nicole can still recover. Nicole can ditch high rocks and come back to half marathon before the SEA Games and be at the best again. Jasmine can overcome her injury and be at the best again. But then it becomes a whole argument later if you allow discretion. Now Vanessa ran fast. No, who do we displace? Or argue when you can just have a trial. Very clear, what? Very clear. And then if you lost out, sorry, go 2 more years. 2 years is not a hell of a long time. You can go for 2 more years. So, I do not think that it was Singapore Athletics' idea. It was Betterment Sports' idea. Singapore Athletics, if anything, they opposed it in the first place. But now everyone is happy to claim credit. So I will say it once and for all here. I'm happy to work Singapore Athletics, and all my good ideas, if it sticks, they can take credit. Everyone at Singapore Athletics can take credit for my good ideas. I just say here first. And then I'm happy to work. I say I'm happy to work for them for a month for free. They can see whatever I can do. If they think it's worth it, then you give me an offer. I also say if I work for you and then you don't allow me to do my work properly, you micromanage me, I also piss off. I also don't want to work for you. So I say I'm I'm happy to work for you for free 1 month. We see what we can do. Identify policies that we can change. Identify strategies that we can build. Identify pipelines that we can do. Things like OCTC, for example. I think OCTC last year, for example, for distance, was given to way too many people. And I think that there's a lot of like wasted OCTC money. There's a disparity between certain event groups and others. Like, there's no point funding, let's say, I don't talk about 100 meter, you know, sprinters talk about them, they always criticize sprints. There's no point giving like 5 or 6 marathon runners OCTC support when you can only send 2. Okay? And then, Romaine, how many 800 meter, 1005 girls last year got OCTC support?
0.
0. So you can send 2 per event, but you're supporting 6 in one event and 0 for the other. Then when I question, what is this? I think I questioned it last year. I think I might even have asked Marinda, but this is the system that we drew up. We have to be fair. We have to go across all, bronze medal mark across all events. Well, by definition, on the paper that looks fair, but anyone who understands sports or understands how distance running works knows that that's inherently an unfair policy. Because some, especially for distance, if the 1005 is tactical and the 800 meters is not, and then the 5K is not, then applying the same bronze medal mark across all 3 events is inherently unfair. Which year was it that the 5K bronze medal was 1640 or something stupid? 2022, yeah. 2022. Can you imagine the number of 5K runners that would have gotten support that year? You're going to fund all of them? Or 5 of them or 6 of them? Right? So it doesn't make sense lah. I mean, to me, it doesn't make... he's going to say I single him out, but he's the name that came to mind. There's no point giving OCTC to Keen over Romaine. And now I'm going to get accused of bias. Romaine is my sister, right? But Romaine has the chance to not just make the SEA Games. If Romaine was at SEA Games last year, she could have challenged for a 1005 medal because they were running the type of race for the bronze that was around her kind of times that she was running that season and the season before. Okay? Not to be could have, should have, whatever. But Keen didn't even make the team. He was never going to make that team. He was never going to be top 2 in marathon. So why the hell you give OCTC to him? Okay, not say why the hell you give OCTC to him, but Romaine should have got OCTC before Keen. Logically speaking, because she is the best in her event, all she needs to do to go is to hit the standard. Keen hit the standard, he's not going to go because there are too many people ahead of him. No, he was never going to overtake me. He was never going to overtake, Richard, Henry, all these people. Not that he was never going to, but he didn't. Right? And anyone who understands that can plan in advance and see that is the reality of it. And then meanwhile, you're neglecting event groups that happen to get screwed because the previous edition, the bronze medal is fast.
Yep.
Okay, now you got me going lah. I've been talking for like 25 minutes on that topic already. Shit.
Yeah. My bad, guys, my bad.
This is our longest podcast ever.
Okay, but I mean, I guess to wrap up, like, you did have a conversation with them lah. So hopefully we may or may not see something happen.
Yeah, maybe after they listen to this podcast, they they decide they have too much of a loose cannon to hire.
Oh well.
But you know what? What have I got to lose? I don't have anything to lose. If I do this, it's to make other people better. If they don't want to make me, if they don't want to engage me to help other people get better, fucking fine. I'll just keep doing my thing. I'm not selfish. I wanted to help, but you don't want me to help, then fuck off lah. You know, right? Seriously. Anyway, Amir, what do you think? Do you think that Soh Rui Yong should be the coordinator for high performance distance running or pipeline building for distance running in Singapore?
I don't care who it is. I think we need to start somewhere.
You don't care who is it, then Keen lah.
No lah, no, okay. Not to say that, but like, I don't care if it's you or if it's someone of that caliber where we can listen to. But to me, it's like, we just need to start somewhere because everything in Singapore always stalls at the planning stage because like we just don't like to take risks, right? And so like once we take that risk, we take that step, then we know how to work from like those things. Because if we never
Or
start,
sometimes it
we
stalls
won't
at
get
the
anywhere.
execution stage. Execution also sometimes then jialat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's why the podcast is here because I think a lot of these good ideas often die in the shadows. You
Mm,
agree with me? A lot of good ideas die in the boardroom shadows where it never makes it out of the planning stage, like you said. So
yeah,
the best cure to illness is sunlight, or the best cure to
yeah.
an infection is sunlight, or something. There's a saying like that. I'm not trying to sound smart or whatever. There's actually a saying like that. So
Yeah.
give the ideas into the light, and if you want to copy and paste the idea and claim it as yours, sure, go ahead. But this clip will be here, and people can trace back to see where the idea came from.
Okay. My laptop battery is running low.
All right, man. Well, thank you for listening to episode 16 of the Run So Fast podcast and episode 2 of the cross collaboration with the Inside Track
InsideTrackSG
podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna figure out how to do collaboration on YouTube. I think we will get it sorted. I might be almost 35, but I'm still fairly tech savvy. My wife and my sister might disagree, but I think I am. I just
Those are
graduated
Romaine
from
friends
London
there.
Business School with an MBA. I am not too dumb of a person, I hope. All right, guys. Amir, good luck for your races. Good luck to me for my race, I guess. Romaine, are you
Good
racing
luck.
anytime soon? We didn't
Uh,
even have time to talk about the Pocari Sweat 2.4 km challenge. I even bought a 1.5
Oh
liter
my God.
bottle for £5 at Oseo here. So expensive. It's like $8 Singapore. But Pocari Sweat 2.4 km challenge on the 15th of August. Defending podiumers, Romaine, Vanessa, Nicole, all coming back. Sean Go and Pranav are going for the national record, 650. I received questions that I didn't even get to address on the podcast because Amir got me going on policy. Ben Koo asked if
Sorry,
anyone is going to
guys.
break 650 this year. I said no because I'm not there. Uh, which, I mean, honestly speaking, I think Sean can do it, but I think Sean needs me there to do it because otherwise no one is going to help him force the pace for long enough.
Mm.
And I guess Sean can try and take it from three laps out, but it's going to take a long, brave run from him. And I think it's just, you know how it is, racing there is not easy in that kind of conditions. So, I mean, I think Sean can do it, but it will take a big, I wouldn't bet a house on it. I think it will take a big run. I'm actually trying to help him get paces to do it. Uh, actually, I wouldn't put it past Pranav to do it if Sean runs a very strong 650 pace evenly for him. And then I don't think Pranav is weak on the last lap. So that could be a good battle. Someone did ask how good the Gurkhas are compared to the top Singaporean runners. Well, the top Gurkha runners tend to be quite good and quite competitive over 2.4K. And I think Amir's laptop has finally died. So I'm going to have to wrap up.
I just need to quickly get my
Sorry,
charger.
okay. I tried to wrap up and then I ended up talking about 2.4. But
I know.
how different and difficult is
Fine.
the training compared to long distance? Very different. 2.4 km is very middle distance, so you need a lot more track work, a lot more speed work. You still do the endurance work, but it's not like half marathon. We can get away with just doing long tempo runs and marathon pace stuff. A lot of questions asking what I'm trying to run this year. I actually cannot make it this year, unfortunately.
Okay.
How competitive are the Gurkhas in comparison to Singapore runners like you and Sean? So the Gurkhas have never outright won the 2.4 kilometer national championships, but they have been second place on a couple of occasions. I think Subhas was second to Jivanesh in 2022 January. There was someone who was second place to Sean in 2023.
Praveen.
No, 2024, sorry.
Praveen Kumar.
Praveen. Yeah, Praveen Kumar.
Yeah.
And last year there was a Gurkha in third place after Sean and myself. Was that also Praveen?
Oh,
I can't remember his
might
name.
have been. Might have been.
Okay, I can't remember his name. I'm really sorry. But yeah. I think it was someone else actually. Can't remember. Anyway.
Big Yan
but
Limbu.
yeah. Big Yan Limbu, yes, thank you. Very catchy name. I can't believe I forgot. Big Yan, the big man. Big man Limbo. If he wins it
Yeah.
this year, I'm calling him Big man Limbo. Uh, yeah. Amir, what can you run for 2.4?
Honestly, I have no clue. I would have liked to have come back to do it lah, but I think my PB is like 701 or 702.
Wow, close. Okay, you got to come back and crack that sometime.
No lah, I think for sure
Uh,
I can run like maybe a 656, but like it depends on the race as well.
yeah. I mean, like, 2.4 is really the way to elevate this race and make it something that is relatable to Singaporeans, lah. I mean, the same way Ben Khoo makes running relatable via his vlogs or
Mm.
running in a suit makes it relatable to the general public, compared to just like doing another marathon. Or the same way doing a double up challenge makes it something that surpasses or um, grows beyond the general running audience and makes it something that people in the wider sphere are are entranced by or like pay attention to because they're like, oh wow, the wow factor there. This is what our sport needs lah. So back to Jordan, right? If he's gonna be against all these things, I mean, then he's the one making running lame again lah, because he's the one that is not, uh, you know, promote not having the brain to see what it takes to promote running to the general public and yeah. So by the way, if he's so against it, then he should ban Sean and John and Richie from doing 2.4. Ban lah, no? Since you're against vlogging and since you're against suit marathons and since you're against double up challenges, don't do 2.4.
Mm.
2.4 is not a real distance, what? Don't do lah. Oh, what is this? 2.4 is lame. Make running lame again. Shut the fuck up, Scouse.
Low-key, I wouldn't mind coming back lah, but it's a bit too much travel for me just to run 2.4.
Yeah lah. I mean, would you travel to run? Then if you travel so far, then you must run marathon lah. Is that what you're saying?
No lah, no. As in like, cause I'm already traveling, right? Then like it's also like
Ah,
mid-semester. That's
yeah,
like a bit weird.
yeah.
Yeah. If it was
Anyway,
now June, July, I would have gone.
yeah. I mean, we had a lot of debates about the date. I mean, one thing about the 2.4 that I'm struggling with now, as still
Mm.
the elite race director, is that it is too that the SA calendar has become too packed lah. And there's a booking almost every other weekend for the track. So we wanted July, we cannot have July. August, we only had this date. Then I'm like, it clashes with A6 time trial in Bangkok, the meta time trials.
Yeah.
We cannot do this date. But they only give us one date. SA only give us one date. Then I actually got fed up. I told the Pocari team, I said, we need to tell them that the Pocari Sweat 2.4 kilometer national championship is way more important than all these other stupid meets they are hosting there. Pesta, Sukan, all comers, U23, U20 championships. Who cares about all this?
Yeah.
Who watches? The only meet that people watch is the 2.4 national championships. We shouldn't be last priority. We should be first priority. Plan around that. So instead, that's exactly why actually Richie and John cannot do 2.4 this year, because they're all going to be in Thailand on the same day doing meta time trial. So not poor thing, but Sean, it becomes a Sean Go solo time trial rather than a real competition. I was very pissed off when this was the only date that we had. And then
Unless
now,
Pranav.
and then what? Now what happened? Now need to push for signups, right? So, Rui Yong, we need to do a podcast to call for signups, but we already have a very disadvantageous date. Romaine, what is your plan for the 2.4? I hear that your friends Nicole and Vanessa are asking what your plan is.
The plan
Wait, but are
is
they gonna reveal their
to
plan or not?
well, based on last year, they were gunning for the NR, and I guess they're gonna go for that again this year, and hopefully with a different outcome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're kind of
mean,
on NR high now, so why not?
excuse me. I should
Yeah,
say something and something
but
caught my throat.
wow, okay, yeah, then for me, I at least want to have a better experience than last year, because last year I somehow dug myself into a hole that I couldn't climb out of in time. So That's easy enough for me.
Who's gonna pace the? Was there any request for pacing for the ladies? Who's gonna pace the ladies side?
No pacing for the ladies side as far as I know, because everyone has different goals.
So were you not asked to be a pacer?
I mean, it was like kind of like a you want to run the same pace as us, but yeah, not so much. I don't
So you're
know.
not
I don't
asked to
know
be a
how efficient it
pacer lah.
was.
You're
I
not
don't know
asked to
how
be a.
efficient it was. They just said, "Oh, we're gonna go NR pace." That you wanna come with? Yeah,
The NR pace is what 740. Is it still
seven forty
trailing
eight.
748?
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's about 78 a lap.
yeah. I mean, I still think that performance by Cui Ling ranks up there with some of her best runs lah, because she really did that solo around
Yeah,
KPP, winning by a lot.
yeah, yeah.
I was quite impressed that run. Looking back, actually, yeah, pretty damn solid. But yeah, I don't know if Amir can hear us. Actually, he's probably still got it in his ears. But I think that the 2.4K on the women's side, is it the case where how many participants were there last year? I can't remember. There were like 4.
4. And you
Yeah.
know how many people get prizes? 6.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, please sign up. There are lots of free prizes to sweep up. And on the ladies' side, I mean, like, historically, the men's race has always been a bit more engaging in terms of having more athletes there. I mean, I'm not against combining the two. I think 2.4 kilometers, you can have a mixed race, and it's our event anyway. If there are only 4 girls, I'm almost much rather they mix in with, if not the elite men, the boys or something. That'd be quite cool.
So I know that there's different divisions as well, and the open women's category had the fewest participants as compared to your CBA. I can't even remember there's a
Yeah
tertiary
lah,
category
but
for the
but
women.
but, but that's normal. That's normal because participation in athletics in general falls off a cliff after school sports.
If you were Sean Gu, would you want to run around the women though? Or if you were trying to run a sub 650?
Oh yeah lah. I mean, if you're lapping people, then no lah. Then you run faster lah. Don't let Sean lap you lah. Is that Ruben? Who got gold? And Ruben? Okay, so Ruben is significantly better at 15 than 5 lah. I see. Okay. 712 is good, man. Well, yeah, ask him to. Where did he run this? Like literally a selection trial.
Oh,
I see. Well, that's very impressive. I hope that he gets to show his goods on the day. I mean, he's more than welcome to join the men and have the men, the elite men, push him to a better time. That's his choice. But yeah, that's a really really good shout. 712 from an 80th boy. Jacob's 80th record is 715. Okay, well, that's under threat if Sebastian can hold his form for another month and a half. Okay, let's do way too early predictions for the Pocari set 2.4 km national championships. Amir, ladies side, there's the national record of 7:48 by Go Trailing for, yes or no? No. Romaine?
they're just coming off a half marathon block. If they have 1 month to prepare for the 2.4, I'm gonna say close but no.
I mean,
But
you
I've
want
also
to
been proven wrong on many occasions when I bet against them.
elaborate? Amir, do you want to elaborate? They're old, 30 years old. Look at you, old. Romaine, you're your grandma. Sure. What did Vanessa run last year? 7:51?
Yes.
But that's after Nicole screwed up by going too fast, right? So I mean, objectively speaking, if Nicole gets it right, then it could be a lot closer, lah.
Nicole went out at 76 or faster last year.
I mean, that screwed you as well.
No,
I
I
mean,
was
just
behind.
So, you're behind, okay, but all of you went too fast, is it, or something? I mean, 76, yeah, 76 is too fast. So, anyway, I think. Oh yeah, is Summer running? Don't worry, dude. I'm the race director, and I don't have the start list. I was pushing for the start list before this episode, and I still didn't get it. So, sucks to be a race director in Singapore.
Well, Amir,
Sure.
if you today you pit me against those two girls you just mentioned, how would you rank? Fair. And also, the 1500 times are faster than what I've done this season.
2.4 is definitely leaning a bit more into aerobic fitness. But that's why you'll be good, right? You're doing base. You're putting the base on top of your speed. Anyway, you way too early predictions on the men's side. There's the national record of 650.21 by Jivanesh, Soundararaja, fall, yes or no? Amir, you can go first. Romaine?
If he doesn't, if he dips across the line, yes, he'll get it.
You think it'll be that close? Okay, wait, hang on. Who do you think will win the race?
Sean? Is there anyone else that I should know besides the Gurkhas if they come back? Sean.
You think Sean?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's a foregone conclusion between Sean and Pranav. I mean, obviously Sean has a better setup, training setup, and everything, and seems like the pressure is on him. And Pranav is the one with nothing to lose. But I think Pranav has a very easy job. Just sit in and have fun, and then see whether he has a last lap in him. And I don't know about you, I wouldn't want to race Pranav on the last lap. Doesn't look like a fun. Jacob can tell you it's not a fun proposition. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I'm gonna wrap it up here at 2 hours and 53 minutes. Which is one of our probably ranks among our top female marathon times. USA. Might even try and split this into podcasts, or maybe I will be too lazy to edit. We'll see. Thank you very much, guys. And episode 16. See you next time. Goodbye.